Bottom of the clip, but the gunshine stay high. One of them boys still boating in that way. Big plate, get it for the 18 if you straight. Get cake and stop hating, it's the motto of the state. A lot of fakes, but it's still real around here. That foreign talk, that can get you killed down here. Niggas better learn the lingo, cause they'll be looking for you in that water finding Nemo. See, Palm Beach County be the craziest. Them Broward County niggas be the craziest. And them Dade County niggas be the wildest. Shout out to Bell Glaze and my niggas at Fort Myers. Salute to all my Florida boys out here on the grind. When niggas out here getting dough with that snow and the sunshine. Ducking 9, waiting at the port to bring in that order. Cause niggas like depend on what come across that water. Welcome to South. I was born in the South, raised in the South. A Dade County nigga that was made in the South.
Yo, what's good, X? What's good, Canes fans?
What's up?
On this beautiful Miami Sunday morning. Sun is out in this bitch. I'm not in North Dakota, so we got it's me and X right now. We got some more people popping up in a second, man. They just handling their business before they come up in here, but yeah, man. Tough loss tomorrow, but as you can see, or yesterday, excuse me, not tomorrow. Tough loss yesterday. But as you can see, we're good over here. You know what I'm saying? We're not overly pressed about what happened. I'm gonna actually go into a little bit of a tangent, talk about my thought process with that. But quick recap, X. Go ahead and give us your thoughts, man. Tell us what you think about the game.
Man, yesterday the defense, man, they let us down. I didn't think the defense would play that bad, but they did. They let us down. Offensively, we did really what we wanted to do. We missed some plays here and there, but yeah, the defense let us down. I guess we're the team that we just hasn't figured out where we could be dominant from start to finish on both sides of the ball throughout the whole season. We haven't had one game where the team was dominant like that. I think this is where they're trying to figure out, like, what is our identity? Are we going to be dominant offensively and defensively in the same game? If we could do that, then our record is better than 6-5. But obviously, I don't know. We gotta figure that out. That's the biggest question right there. Like, can we do that? I don't know.
Yeah, man. No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, but in all, man, Mark Fletcher, second 100-yard game. He's a beast. The offensive line, man. The little play when Brashad came around, and you see Francis out in front, and I'm laughing because I'm like, boy, this guy's finna get killed when I see Francis come in the front, and then look at Francis hit him, and it's like he just wow, so. But in all, man, I'm not as disappointed as everybody else. Obviously 6-5 isn't what I expected, but I see the progress there. I see the rooms of improvement that can be made. That's everybody. You know what I'm saying? No team in college football is perfect. So it's like the coaching staff and the players have to just focus and say, okay, well, these are the little areas where we got to improve. And this is how we can become a better team. You know what I'm saying? So I see they trying to get there. They just haven't figured out. It's like, when you playing hide and go seek, man, and you're the last one, and you trying to figure out, okay, man, what is this guy who running around and said, who's doing the countdown, and you stuck. You don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's like us. Like, we kind of stuck, just trying to figure out, like, what can we do? But we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully, we got one more in us, man. Hopefully, man, we could do something next week.
Yeah, and as y'all see, man, I'm showing love today. I'm showing comments, so I need y'all to show that love back. Hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Damari Brown, the like button, man. We're gonna talk about Damari, man. Little homie was doing his thing yesterday. Also, hit the subscribe button, man. We almost at 1,800 subs for this channel. We appreciate y'all. So, yeah, let's get into it. Anything else to add before I give my thoughts?
Nah, nothing else, Red. Nothing else just yet. I guess.
We're gonna talk about
I guess
recruitment
yeah, I
and the
get into
impacts.
recruitment a little later. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get into
yeah, yeah,
recruitment a little
yeah,
later.
yeah. My thought was, as y'all know, I was at the game, man. Shout out to Taz. He took some pictures of us. You know what I'm saying? Um, the hell? You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. That was my brother. He asked me a question.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I was at the game. It was disappointing. Um, but I don't know. Maybe it was me being in the building. That's the best TVD we saw in a month plus. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't enough, but man, I
Yeah,
was standing.
he say I got to put on the performance, man. Medi showing up, so I don't want Medi
I told
to let him down, man.
I told Street that that's it's because I'm here, dog. That boy said I'm not trying to get cooked on the live tomorrow morning. I'm not trying to get cooked on what's called. So, um, I will say this, man. It was an interesting perspective. First time on the field for me, but actually seeing I was like 15 feet away from the strepper when you try to reach that ball out, man. So it made it extra more painful to watch it in person because he was fighting, man. He was fighting. That was about to be one of them ones if he somehow figured that out. It's one of those moments where you kind of wish that someone was behind him, that he could have just, kind of threw the ball back behind him. But you're in that situation, that's not something you really call up. But excellent play by him. Shout out to X, man, for putting out on the line, man. They do had a great day. There'll be no X slander on him today, but um, yeah, I want the offense held at the end of the deal, and I have to give them credit for that because they definitely did not uh do what I predicted. You know what I'm saying? I'll say it. I'm pretty sure it's on the prediction show. I thought Tyler was gonna go out there and waste another opportunity. Uh Dawson might have been right in his estimation of or his comparison to Jalen Monroe. I think they're two completely different scenarios and situations personally, but it seemed as if he snapped out of it. Um, or maybe it could be, you know what I'm saying, the guy who I feel like is more talented is behind you on your ass, and if you make one mistake, then that's it. It ain't no coming back, right? So who knows? But I do find it, and it seemed like this too from the group. It seemed people were more frustrated that Tyler was playing better than that he wasn't turning the ball. It's almost as if we got a use as a fan base. And this dude, shout out to this dude that was in the stands. He said he called him INTVD, and I cannot get that shit out of my head now. Like he said, "Oh, we got INTVD out there started." I said, "Oh, damn! Like, why'd you have to give me that, dog?" But it seems like we became almost. It's like we're like in the stands, like kind of like cringing, like waiting for like a scary movie when you know a person about to jump out and slice the people up. You know what I'm saying? Like Jason or something like that. It's like you waiting. It's like you trying to anticipate for it, and it didn't come, man. So um, that's interesting. Defense, like you said,
Like you say, funny part was people was more mad that he played good, and I'm like, well, that kind of don't make no sense. Why y'all mad that he played good? I guess one dude told me yesterday, like, man, so as you think he coming back, and I was like, oh, I guess this is why y'all mad, because y'all probably saying, okay, he played good, and then he's like, okay, they'll just bring him back next year, which I definitely don't think that's um, gonna be a topic at all. Like, I think both sides are going to probably move on at the both parts. So.
yeah, we'll talk transfer portal too. Which is set to open on December 4th. So um, yeah, I said it. And I understand, man. Lance Guidry probably his second worst game as a coordinator here. Um,
So as you say, the first one will be what, Carolina?
North Carolina, yeah.
Okay. So Carolina
Um,
in this one, yeah.
it just seemed like
Well,
he,
I don't know. I think because at least Carolina got talent. They got talent over there. I'm not saying Louisville don't have talent, but Louisville ain't. It shouldn't have been no problem with us with Louisville. It should have been like we could have held them to like maybe 300 or maybe less. Um, it's nothing they did, to show me that they was better than us. You know, we just play good defense.
Yeah, we didn't. I do think Kevin Coleman is like that. Isn't that Kevin Coleman that was at Jackson State?
Yeah,
I think he like that, and he made it very clear on that. I mean, granted, that was a incidental contact. You got a damn 50-year senior and a graduate transfer run into each other on a play, which is still watching that. I think it hurts more than I watched it live. Like I saw it in person happen in real time. Is what makes it more disappointing. But then watching it back on tape, it's like it looked like at one point the receiver, the other receiver that ran the route that it wasn't a rub, but that ran the slant that kind of caused them to run into each other. He even looked back like, God damn, what just happened? Like he looked surprised, like, oh damn, like, and then this dude caught
yeah,
the
because
pass, and he just down the sideline, like,
that's a play like you just don't expect. Even if you know you're doing a rub, you're just not seeing the two defenders running to each other like that. So when
yeah,
it happened, you're like, what the, like, come on, man. Usually Couch is supposed to like slide, but it like Couch ran towards the spot, and
yeah,
that's why he hit Jaden Davis, and I was like, oh, but horrible communication. I seen a die was I don't know, but it looked like he kind of could have bust a blood vessel. He was yelling on that play. I was like, oh yeah, I know he mad because I shit. I'm mad. I'm at the stands like they really ran into each other.
I
They
don't,
did
I
that
don't,
on
I don't
purpose.
get it. I don't get it, but man, shout out to KB, man. KB, man, you seem like you're in deep concentration, man. Let's hear your thoughts on the game from yesterday.
Mhm. I'm kind of indicative of the season. I mean, at some point in time, the defense was going to have a bad game. And it just so happened. We needed the offense to carry us, and they did a pretty good job. If you ask me, yeah, it's never really one thing. We made a lot of mistakes and some communication things, but to me, that was just simply a coaching loss. Like we couldn't match wits with them. Like we could say Gidry had a bad game and such, but Louisville was prepared. Like the things I'm seeing bust open were the things I saw bust open with Florida State and other teams. It's like they simply did their homework, and we just got outworked and outcoached on that one, man. They don't have the talent to match up with us, but it just came down to, and for the most part, we played a pretty good game. You know what I mean? The whole way through. Aside from the defense, man. But even the defense came up with what block field goals, interceptions. You know what I mean? But man, Louisville, that was just a damn good job of coaching by them. And they came out and they showed that they had film study and they had a good week of practice. That's what showed up to me because it just really came down to like the last. It came down to like the last two or three possessions, and that's what we faltered, in my opinion. Just our coaching decisions, man, keep coming back to kick us in the ass. So that's the way I saw the game.
Yeah, we be having some mishaps, man, coaching wise. Again, like I said earlier, I guess the coaches and the players, they neither one have figured out how to just dominate from point A to point Z. You know what I'm saying? For one whole game, I guess when they could get that under control, or even like figure it out, is when you'll start to see the things that I mean, you'll start to see things completely turn around. Um, but again, the players are giving their effort. That's the one thing I'm so proud of, that they actually giving maximum effort for the most part. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't get down. Like even when Louisville goes down and scores, okay, we got the ball last drive. We actually drove the ball down the field. At first, I was like, yeah, this finna be ugly. Something finna happen. He finna make a bonehead play, something. But we drove down the field. We couldn't get in the end zone. I don't know why we didn't just run the ball off 4 times, but we got down there. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, that's positive because man, we know TVD could have threw an interception and here you go. You know what I'm saying? The same thing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So kind of proud that the players give maximum effort, man. That's something that you could build on from there.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'm in a little bit. I'm gonna kind of give y'all some perspective that I hope y'all could take and use. And some of y'all may not like it, but hey, I think it's something worth identifying and talking about. But um, X, you want to talk about recruiting and how some of the recruits reacted or felt about the game?
Yeah, I can speak about recruiting. All week, man, it was a lot of positive news going into recruiting. The one thing Mario is a closer. He could recruit. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the recruits are they buying into what Mario's selling them. You know what I'm saying? They buying into what Mario's pitching at them. Um, I only talked to two yesterday. Today and tomorrow I'm gonna get some more perspectives for others. But the two that I talked to, man, they locked in. You know what I'm saying? Most of our recruits that's committed to us are locked in. The only ones who I kind of see things kind of, if it can go any way, is the Artavis Zone. That's a D top. He's like, I think 30 minutes away from Leon County. So I kept telling people like, yeah, it's hard for somebody to just be right there in their backfield, and they don't have that many. So it's hard for us to just say, okay, we gonna take them. Um, I still think from what I was told, he's gonna be in the class. The other one, Kevin Riley, Bama trying to turn up the heat on that one. He said he's locked in. So, but he's from Alabama. Bama turning up the heat, and you know how that goes when Bama ain't trying to let nobody from their state leave. You know what I'm saying? The other news was Chance Robinson. Everybody kept, man, X. I told y'all from point blank, like Chance was gonna be a hurricane. I don't know why y'all let these people gas y'all up. It's rumors that JoJo flirted with FSU. It's true. I don't FSU. They recruiting good. They spending good. They doing what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? But JoJo, I still think he's gonna be a hurricane. Um, the one bad news that everybody probably gonna hate is the one that everybody want, the big fella, Jeremiah. Um, I think we just dropped the ball there. We dropped the ball there. It would have to be like something spectacular that happened for us to get him to sign with the Hurricanes. I kind of think we might have slipped up too with Ellis Robinson. We was kind of pushing the limit with him also. But you can't lose. You can't be 6-5 and think you're gonna get the top players in the nation. You know what I'm saying? Even though Mario could recruit good like that. So, but the one thing I do know positive with Ellis Robinson is he's being told that he could come in and play next year. You know what I'm saying? Um, obviously everybody's telling that to Jeremiah Smith, which he can, but you just gotta win. You know what I'm saying? You gotta win football games, man. So that's about it. What other recruit? Everybody keep asking me about. Oh, okay. So I guess um, but we probably talk about that later. The portal.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll hit Porter in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it with recruiting. We still gonna recruit good. I think we might lose the safety. What is his name? Isaiah something. He hurt himself again. He didn't even play this year again. I think what I'm saying. They'll drop him or part ways, however you want to say it. Which is why we started recruiting the other safety, Xavier Lucas from Heritage. Um, I think that's going to be a at FSU battle. Um, the only thing about that is now we kind of forget that his coach is his coach was Patrick Surtain. You know what I'm saying? So that might be the reason why they win, because his coach was Patrick Surtain. So um, LJ
Somebody asked,
McCray, he I look. Somebody tweeted out talking about, he said he shut things down. Don't believe that. Don't believe that, man. He's going to the highest bidder. Whoever's going to give him the biggest check, he's going. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to throw that big check at him, guess what? He's going to be a hurricane.
somebody asked about
So
Xavier Mincy.
Xavier Mincy, he's still in great shape with him. He played. Look, everybody kind of getting confused with him because they think we only recruit him as a safety, but we recruit him as a cornerback.
That's what's up. Hey,
So he can
real
play
quick.
both. He can play both.
Okay. Real quick, man. Try Kyle. I want you. This one's for you, man. If you can find it somewhere, man. Yeah, I want you to give me something good that you saw yesterday out of that performance.
Something good. Something good. Like X say, I think the biggest thing what X pointed out is that they fought. Like they never stopped. Like they were out of the game. Um, the penalties they got at the end were frustration penalties, but those were season long frustration penalties. That wasn't from that game. Um, and like I don't even dig too much into those penalties, to be honest with you, because the only thing I don't like about it is Jacoby just still going on and on about it on the sideline. Like, bro, the play is over, bro. And it's like you want to hit somebody in the face. You should have did that against what school was that? Clemson, and when them guys was pushing your face in the dirt and doing all that, that's when you retaliate like that. But um, outside of that, the guys didn't quit. They fought. I like seeing fighting these guys. We saw we saw some different plays and some things we've been asking for. We actually lined up under center, so it actually does exist. You saw a reverse with Rashad. So we saw Dawson dig a little bit into the bag. I like that. Um, I saw a lot of fight, man. It's hard to like really. We didn't play bad, so don't think it's hard for me to find something positive to say. That's not what I'm saying. But it's hard for me to identify something different. You know what I mean? That I hadn't seen all year. Um, the team is different. The team is different. And yesterday they fought, man. They could have pulled that game out. They really could have, man. I think some coaching decisions held them back. Besides their bad defensive play. But I saw guys. I saw Keek, man. That boy Kiko is nice, man. We got a lot of great individuals here. We play good as a team. Yeah, it was a lot of positives to take from the game and from the season overall. To be honest with you.
The chat saying that you ain't saying. Like, you supposed to say something good. Shout out to Christian.
Hmm.
Question, and I've been thinking about this for the last couple. Well, yesterday kind of solidified it for me, man. And this is kind of switching tones for a second. It's a two-part question, and y'all tell me. Yella 265 brought this up. Is Cam Kitchens an All-American this year again?
Dang, that's a good question. I ain't gonna lie. I've been watching the games I seen Alabama play. That two freshmen they got, Caleb. What is it, Downs? I think Caleb Downs or whatever. He like that. Him and the safety from Georgia. Them boys like that for real. I don't know if Cam is a first team All American, maybe second team. But
What
he's
if
All American.
what if I told you, with the exception of assisted tackles and one interception, he got the same exact stats right now as he had last year? He has the same amount of solo
Wait,
tackles.
and and
He has
and he missed 2 games. And
and he
he
missed two
missed 2 games,
games.
right?
He had one less interception. Yes, they put him at 5 last year. He had 6, and he has 10 less assisted tackles than he did last year at this point in the season. He led the team in tackle. No, between him and James, they both led the team in tackling yesterday from the safety position. But a lot of people they point at stuff like this because he missed the
I,
Kevin Coleman tackle.
yeah. I still think he All American. Like I said, I don't know if it'll be first team. It'll probably be like second team. Definitely all ACC first team. Yeah, like second team All American most likely because he's still making plays. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's not making plays. Like you say, he's got 5 interceptions. He got he's on pace to have the same amount of tackles from last year, right?
He already got the same amount of assisted tackles with 2 less games, 1 game left in the season. The only thing he's missing is one more interception, which he might tie that next week against that quarterback, unless that dude run all over us. And and he only got 10 less assisted tackles. So outside of that, he has the same exact stats right now, and he played 2 less games.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he'll be an All American. It just depends on which team they gonna try to get to him. Either the first or second team. So,
And the team got a better record than last year. Mind he became an All American with a 5-7 Miami Hurricanes team, first team at that AP.
yeah. But like Cal say, man, we actually got some individuals that's been playing good ball. Kiko been playing good ball. James, James, he have his little, you know, he go through, but James been playing good ball this year for us this year. Cam, man, the freshmen, I can't even speak on the freshmen that's been playing. They just been doing their thing, man. So, hey, man, 6-5 is not what we wanted. You know, we both. I mean, we're better than we was last year. That's the biggest. The biggest fact is we're better than we was last year.
Someone said Kiko All American Lights. Kiko got 7 sacks.
I think he got 7.5 or 8, something like that.
Oh wow,
So who's he
damn.
trailing? Just
Yeah,
Ruben? He just trailing Bain then.
yeah. Well, no, I think they tied up now. If I'm
I
not
thought Bain had
mistaken.
8. I
That's
thought
what
Bain
I'm
was sitting
saying.
at 8.5.
If Bain have 8, then Kiko had got 8 or 8.5. It's one of them got 8.5, and the other one got 7.5, I think.
Look it up.
But yeah, I don't know if Kiko will be an All American. Because that,
He
that,
don't, he
that
don't got enough.
linebacker from North Carolina State,
Yeah.
he got what 150 some tackles. Um, it's some linebackers that got over 120 plus tackles. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to say
Kiko
Kiko's an All American.
Kiko's definitely at least all ACC. Maybe not first team, maybe not even second team. He damn sure on that list. He's an all
Yeah, he'll be
conference
second
player.
team. Yeah, he'll be second team because, like I say, the guy from North Carolina State he leading the nation in tackles. So I don't know how you
Hmm.
not make him a first team. So
But how many linebackers are on the team, on the first team? Like how many players make the? You
I
get what I'm
think
saying?
yeah.
they usually put two. They usually put two for the most part.
Okay.
It was three, but since they basically took one linebacker spot and added an extra DB spot. So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? It'll be two for the most part. Sometimes they will allow you to put three on there. It depends on how good the linebacker is, though.
It shows it
Okay.
shows it shows he had 6.5 sacks, 35 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a pick. And he almost had one yesterday. If he picks that ball off Jake Plummer on that second interception, we win that game.
Mm. Mm. He had that one too. God,
Mm-hmm.
dog.
He picks that ball, we win that game.
Yeah.
Hey, so Manny, you at the game yesterday, man. So speak on the atmosphere because everybody always talk about, oh well, the stadium be so empty, but the stadium was loud yesterday.
It is, and I think I've seen it before, and then I forgot because it's been a while since I've been there. But yeah, for as empty as it would seem, the design of that stadium makes it so that yeah, it does get raucous. It's just there got to be a reason for them to continue cheering, and as it progresses, it does get louder. Miami people they're gonna scream. That's one thing they're gonna do. They're gonna yell. All these island people and people from Cuba, Puerto Rico, and South America, and that's what we gonna do. All them Haitians, they're gonna go in there and scream. Like, don't even worry about that. But at the same time, got to give them a reason to consistently, and they'll turn it up. Like Louisville fans was in there, and I think towards the end it kind of thinned out. Right, I think right after Buddy caught that touchdown, the atmosphere thinned out. But um, we'll see. We'll see for next year. Uh, but shout out to Rich man. Rich man, since you in here, go ahead and give us your thoughts, man.
Yo, yo. Shout out to y'all for holding it down. I apologize for being late. To all the villains out there. And I had to do, church thing. The girl's big on that, so gotta go. But um just wanted to say, I know that this was something that we all agreed upon last year, and I just want to see how it tastes. So we was all like, well, if we're competitive in every game, then we will consider that like a moral victory, even though we 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 actually don't come out with the victories. So I'm gonna say, how do we feel knowing that we have a team that, you know, we're on par with everybody else. We can almost beat anybody in our conference. I would say anybody across America. But we're like 3 points away, 7 points away from actually getting the win, getting that W in the win loss column. So how do y'all feel about that?
I mean, you just said it. Like we all are happy that we are competing. It's just we're upset that we're losing. You know what I'm saying? We want to win. Like it's I don't know how to take it. Like, I don't know how to say it any different. Like you don't want to lose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
So
we competing. I mean, again, like I say, I'm happy because they fighting. It ain't been a game this year where I seen them give up. That's a plus. Um, we haven't. I mean, we haven't got blown out in man game this year. That's a plus. Um, Mental health, yeah. So we just don't want to lose. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they don't grade you on. Well, they almost won. Nah, they lost. You know what I'm saying? You got to win or you got to lose. Which one you coming out with? That's how they grade you.
I got you. I got you. Um, so now we moving the needle as a fan base. We glad that yeah we competitive, but we ain't winning, so we ain't happy. That
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, this is Miami. You know what I'm saying? We do not care about second place. We don't care about third place, or we don't care about well, at least they look good. No, we care about winning. You know what I'm saying? If you don't win, we don't care. So that's the fan base. You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna be the fan base mentality. You got to win. If you can't win, it's gonna look. They already talking about man, fire Mario, fire Mario. I mean,
We're
which
gonna
is
get to that
dumb.
one.
oh wow.
Mario gonna be here for another 4 years at least. You know what I'm saying? But the fan base is upset because they don't want to lose. They don't care that Mario could recruit. They don't care that Mario could build the team. They say, well, we lost. We 6-5. I think I seen somebody else say we two and something with on ACC or I don't know. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it makes sense. But guess what? We got to ride with it because Mario is here.
I feel you, and I'm feeling that too. Looking at Jordan Travis last night and his injury, that made me even think about it a little bit. In terms of should we play a guy that we think is going to be the one to get us to winning the ACC championship. So that made me put that into perspective during that game. We were competitive, I guess, as a superlative. Uh, TVD almost threw a couple picks, but he actually didn't throw no picks, right? If I remember correctly.
No, he had no
Nah,
turnovers.
no picks.
We
So
we
no
won the turnover
picks.
battle yesterday.
We won the turnover battle. We actually won the third quarter yesterday. That was interesting
Hey,
because
shout
all
out
the
to him.
games that we lost, we lost the third quarter.
And that's Gidget's
I don't
philosophy.
think so, Rich. I don't know if that's true, Rich. I know we lost UNC, but I think Florida State. We had the third quarter in Florida State. I think we held them to something. God, I can't remember the yardage or what have
I
you.
think what he's saying is
I think
we only allowed 3 points in the third quarter.
For
We only
Florida
had three
State.
points in
yeah,
no Louisville.
and
It was
and that's
top.
what I'm
I
saying.
think
And
Florida.
and the thing is, we were, I think we, and this is one of those things where we talked about it last week with Florida State, where we was like very even, but Florida State did bad in the third quarter, but we did worse.
Yeah, they
That's
had ten.
that's
They had 10 points in the third quarter. We had three.
exactly. So we didn't do any better. So in terms of the this game, we held Louisville to 3 points in the third quarter. We did a lot better. It's just that didn't, it didn't. That momentum didn't go carry on in the fourth quarter. But we did win the third quarter. So I'm gonna be Mr. Positive, and I'm
Rich, you
just
ain't
gonna
got your
point out the positive things. Um,
Rich, you ain't got your glasses on, but 305 Kane rep said,
Go
I don't
ahead.
even know how to
Sorry.
say that. I said, you ain't got your glasses on, but 305 Kane rep said something. I'm assuming it's in Creole. I don't know what that says though.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that is trying to say.
Why ici la rich? Shout out to the Zoes,
I
man.
don't. Yeah, that I need some. Put my glasses on. I think that says like I'm here or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that says.
Anywho, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not here for moral victories, man. But I was talking to the guys in the group chat, man. I wanted to kind of talk about something that I think is, I mean, in my opinion, the only other explanation I have for this all. And I decided to kind of go back and do some read. I've been up since like 6 a.m. I dozed back off, but I wanted to kind of present something to kind of put in perspective for y'all. And so I started going back and doing legitimate research to try to make sense of what it is that I'm looking at, right? So what you're looking at here is what technically is not Mario's first year, but he filled in as an interim coach for a bowl game for 2017 Oregon Ducks, right? And I want to give this perspective to kind of put in the context what I think is probably happening and why I think it is. So bear with me for a second. I'm about to get in my preacher mode. It's Sunday, so let's talk about it. 2017, that team under Willie Taggart goes 7-5. They lose the Las Vegas Bowl 38-28 to Boise State. That's Mario filled in. Willie Taggart was fired. I'm pretty sure probably after the regular season.
Not
Um,
five. Remember, he left
he left for
Florida
Florida
State. Not
State.
five.
You're right. You're right. He got fired for Florida State. He leaves for Florida State about the same time Mario left for Miami. Dream job. He's a Florida native, right? Something like that. Um, so yeah, same way Mario did. And this is why I tell a lot of Canes fans stop talking and arguing with Oregon fans because they don't understand that with all those resources, that school's a springboard job. And if you think I'm lying, look how in shambles they were when the idea came up that they were going to talk to Dan Lanning to go take the Texas A&M spot. Their fan base was in shambles because they were thinking, "Oh no, not again." Look at the
Oh
last.
well, they better get ready because it's about to happen again.
Look at the last four coaches, right? Chip Kelly left for what? The NFL, right? He went to go be the
Yeah.
Eagles head coach.
Yeah, yeah.
Willie Taggart left to go be Florida State head coach. It's a dream job. Mario Cristobal leaves to go be Miami's head coach, dream job. And Dan Lanning after 2 seasons, but I digress. Let me continue.
Yeah. I don't. Especially if A&M gonna give him the same type of contract they gave Jimbo, you'd be stupid not to take it.
And I'll give you this insight, Rich. My chaplain, right? For those who don't know what a chaplain is a pastor, like a military pastor, right? His office is next to mine that works at the group for me where I work at in North Dakota. He is a diehard Texas. Whole office decked out Texas A&M stuff. I'm pretty sure he graduated from there. And I asked him straight up this past week before I came down here. I said, "Hey, do y'all have money to pay?" Remember, if I got on the stream and I said, "Hey, if Texas A&M can afford to pay Jimbo $77 million to sit at home and another coach, it's over for Miami. We can't keep up." So I asked him straight up. I said, "Hey, sir, respectfully, can Texas A&M pay Jimbo $77 million?" And he said yes, very confidently. I don't know if he's a donor or a booster, but he said it very clearly. Yes, we can. And my jaw kind of dropped because I can't believe that schools are operating like this. But it's easy to understand that because Miami never been that way, right? But let's continue. 2018, Mario is now the head coach. He signed a deal for what? 20. I pulled it up
Mario's deal was like what 88. You mean at Oregon?
at Oregon. I
At
pulled it up.
Oregon.
Long story short, he signed a deal that wasn't great, but obviously it was it was a deal that was kind of like, mind you, this is the first time him being a head coach at a P5 school, not somewhere like he signed a deal to P5 school. But he got hired as an interim, right? Like most coaches do. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling you, you were like, "Oh, Mario, quote unquote, Clemson here in Miami," but that's not necessarily the case because Mario was a head coach somewhere, so we got to learn his
Right.
his his, his steps, right? He
Yeah.
signs a
Dabo was
deal.
a
I can't,
first time coach.
yeah, I can't find it anywhere, but in December of 2020, so a year before he was set to leave, he signed a 6-year, $27.3 million extension to his deal, right? But backtracking, Mario takes over. This team goes 9-4. They win the Red Box Bowl. Shout out to Red Box. I don't think people use those anymore. 7-6 versus Michigan State. I don't know if D'Antoni was it D'Antoni? Was it? I don't know if D'Antoni's still the head
D'Antoni,
coach
I
there
think. Yeah.
because I don't think old Mel was there yet. Mr. Touch himself on the
Yeah, nah,
phone.
D'Antoni. Yeah, D'Antoni was the head coach this time.
Okay,
Oh boy.
so he's trending up, right? 9-4 after a terrible, what most would consider a terrible year of 7-5, right? 2018 goes 9-4, 5-4 in the conference. Let's continue. 2019, team goes 12-2. This is year 2 of Mario. Now I want to pay close attention to that bowl game because for those who aren't paying attention to that bowl game, Mario then goes out and beats that same Wisconsin team that beat Mark Richt's ass in the Orange Bowl the year
20
before. Y'all remember that 2017 team that was in the ACC championship that lost to Clemson and then went on and got cheated by the refs. We're gonna talk about ACC refs in a second. Got cheated by the refs. Lawrence Cager holding his shit in his pants in the back of the end zone, no pass interference. The dude jumps the route, picks it off. Remember that? I remember that because I was there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mario goes that next year, beats them by a point. So now in 2 years, he's beating 2 Big 10 teams, and those supposed to be the two. That's supposed to be one of the higher tier conferences in college football. Okay. Fast forward to 2020, which was an odd year for everybody because it was the COVID year. Cristobal goes 4-3 overall, 3-2 in the conference. They had a shortened season. They go to a bowl game. They lose a bowl game 34-17 to Iowa State. Not sure what happened here, but it's all right. We go back to normal times. 2021, year before he leaves, 10-4. 2 of those losses came to Kyle Willingham and Utah State. They lose the Alamo Bowl, but BMAC was the interim coach for that because Mario had left to Miami. Now, you probably asking, Mehdi, what are you getting at with all this? What I'm getting at is this. I think we have to take in consideration as a fan base that Mario probably rushed into getting that team back successful because in that moment, as a coach who didn't, because mind you, he didn't get this extension until 2020. The Oregon tried to match the deal that Mario was given, but people forget Mario's mom is sick. He wants to come home to take care of her. And we got rid of Flake James, who was a fucking joke of an AD. And he was going around doing all that weird stuff. So we had to cut ties with him and start hollering at Dan Radakovich, who's an alumni who should have been here. It's easy to forget these things when you focus on what's happening in the present. There's a lot of people I don't think would argue that at the moment, bringing Mario home was probably the right choice. I still believe it's the right choice. But I also believe that the things that you're seeing, the inability to, the almost seemingly inability to make proper coaching decisions, the consistent reliance on Tyler as a quarterback, even though he's consistently struggled, allowing some of the stuff that's happening on the sidelines with guys who are, I think all that stuff is part of fixing a culture. A lot of those guys I don't think are going to be here next year, whether they go to the draft or whether they hop in that transfer portal in a
I
couple
started to
weeks
think
on the
about that
24th.
too. You're right, Maddie.
I think,
I li-
I think, I also think that this process, because Mario has a decade to get Miami to what it's supposed to look like, he doesn't need to rush. Regardless if we like it or not, as a fan base, there is noticeable improvement, whether you want to recognize it or not. We just sat here and watched us beat Clemson for the first time in a decade. We just sat here and watched us beat this SEC team for the first time in God since Al Golden was here against that
Yeah.
terrible Florida team that had two linemen blocking each other against Georgia State. All the other people
We
we
saw
brought in before,
Clemson just
all
clobber UNC.
correct. That's the next hill to climb, and I think we're gonna fix it next year, right?
Hmm.
A lot of these people got to understand that I don't think Mario is in any rush to fix any of this stuff. When you see him calling for touchdowns on fourth down just to go and throw the ball again, have a turnover on down, the team already fixed it. The team already like he already has it. We already spoken at nauseum. Tyler ain't coming back here probably next year, right? So it only makes sense that yeah, you ride with him, you let him put we got to get on tape and hope that he gets an opportunity elsewhere. Do we see it happening? No, I don't at least. But in this era with NIL where everybody needs a quarterback, he gonna get picked up somewhere. I just watched Keaton Slovis, who's supposed to be a dog at quarterback, just play for his third D1 school in 3 years.
Hmm.
It happens. The bottom line is we watched Mario take a team that was seemingly in the dumps, bring them up, and Oregon fans are mad and they're pointing a finger. If Dan Lanning leave tomorrow, Oregon fans, I think y'all forgot. Oregon fans was fucked up when Mario decided to leave. Just when the talks were happening, they were in every Caneville not Caneville. Well, Caneville spaces too. They were in every Canes Unfiltered, talking shit. Mario's not coming there, but I remember distinctly like it was yesterday. Oregon fans was everybody, nah, Mario ain't coming there, da 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 da. As soon as he left, oh, Mario trash anyway. We're better with Dan Lanning. All Mario can do is recruit. And the rest of the fan base seemed to be like, you know what, they right. And I'm like, wait a second. This dude took a seemingly unprepared and bad team that got left in the dust and then made them basically ACC champions. I point out to the group chat this morning with Ohio State. Ohio State's record with Day there is like 44-4 or something like that. And three of Ryan Day's losses came in the playoffs. The other loss came from Mario Cristobal at home when Oregon went up there and beat them by 7. But it's funny because our fan base seem to forget that because they let Oregon fans tell them all this shit about how bad the school is and how Mario's just a good recruiter. And then y'all start eating that shit up and believing it without understanding that Mario's going to take whatever time he needs to get the program right. Just because it don't fit the realm of what y'all want in immediate success. And y'all sitting there watching Brian Brom. And oh, look, in 1 year he got Louisville in the ACC championship and blah, 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 blah. That's great. We saw TCU go to the national championship last year, and now that team might not make a bowl game. So do you want it done right or do you want it done fast? I'll ask y'all.
And people forget it wasn't like Louisville was a bad team. They didn't have no major turnover like Miami. Miami had a major turnover. Louisville had no major turnover. All they did was brought in a new coach that could coach, and that's it. If they would have had major turnover, they wouldn't be good. So I don't know why
Well,
fans always think 1 year it makes a coach great. Like it doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
He just
well,
brought
and
it.
let me put it this way though. To be honest with you, um, Number one, Mario has his own timeline, and this is why we're seeing things move the way it moves. But the other part about it is, yes, we had a lot of things we had to get rid of. We had a lot of players that weren't Miami player caliber players. We got all these South Florida kids, and they're going elsewhere. I mean, 25 years ago, if you told me that Jeremiah Smith was going to go to Ohio State, you would have laughed at you. I would have laughed at you because no kid in the state of South Florida would ever be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Ohio State." To, I mean, it didn't happen. Maybe the 4-star kid did, but the 5-star kid went to Miami, stay or at least stayed in the state of Florida. There was no such thing as that kid going elsewhere. Um, but for the fans, I will say this: I feel your pain because I'm a fan too. Because we expect certain things year in and year out from our teams, especially coming from a big city program that has won at the highest level. And we all understand football a little bit more than some of these other institutions. So we don't look at football as a pastime. We don't look at football the way that some people look at church, where you just go for attendance and say, "Well, I went to church," right? And then you go rob the liquor store later or something, or go beat on your wife, whatever. Um, we look at it differently. We're like inside and out. We've been seeing the talent that needs to be at Miami since they've been playing since at 7U, 8U, 9U, and we're not getting that talent. And then when we get the talent, we don't have the other pieces of the puzzle to make them really good and accentuate that talent. So therefore, we keep seeing this losing product on the field, and we got to live with it. We got to listen to the Florida State people in the Twitter chat rooms on social media. We the ones who gotta listen to all the fans out there at Florida, Florida State, Ohio State, the Alabama fans talk junk, and it hurts some of y'all feelings, and y'all hurt. Y'all don't want to go to uh, work the next day because your homeboy has all of his Georgia Bulldog stuff inside of his office, and when you come in the building, he gonna be like, "Go Dogs" or some nonsense like that. We get it. It sucks. It sucks. But at the end of the day, we are making improvements, and we I'll say this. Um, None of us like the situation with Ja'Curry, but I understand the situation with Ja'Curry a little bit more. Because if we've had TVD thrown 12 interceptions in the first 3 games of the season, I'm pretty sure they would have pulled TVD and Ja'Curry would have played the whole season because we have something to play for at that point. But when we're at game number 9, game number 10, we literally don't have nothing to play for. And I'm just going to be real. And I agree with you, Mehdi, too. Like, for some of the guys that are on the team now, and what I'm looking at when it comes to the rotation, I don't think I think some guys that you think are good Canes, I don't think they're gonna be here. I think they're gonna hit the transfer portal because they absolutely have to if they want to salvage their career. I started to think about that a little bit. I don't want to name no names, man. I don't want to name no names, but some guys who are even getting playing time right now, I'm looking at them and I'm like, if they saw what was going on around them, they would hit the portal. If they actually want to play the last 1 to 2 years they have left, they would hit the portal. And I think, you know, it is what it is. We're going to see what additions we get when it comes to recruiting. We're going to see the additions we get when it comes to the transfer portal. And we're going to see if we can win our bowl game, right? And from there, of course, improve on the record that we have in 2020 that we've posted in 2023 in 2024.
Um, Kyle, you got anything to add to that? I know you probably got a counterpoint, but
Y'all keep rocking.
bottom line is this. Shout out to KC3, man, in our group meet. He had talked about how Mario was handed something he just had to sustain. Um, but the bottom line is what he got handed from Taggart was not a good product, and he had to build it back up. What the guy on the screen got was a good product. To add a counterpoint to everything, or an additional point to everything I'm saying, not counter. Dan Lanning first year they go 10-3 with a roster of mostly Mario kids. A couple guys, a couple defectors, but I think even to this day, 3 of his 5 starters on his offensive line were Mario guys. Right now, right? He was absolutely handed a load of the roster to maintain and keep up. But even then, you see 10-win game. They beat North Carolina in the Holiday Bowl. Um, but they still finished 15th in the AP poll and probably um, in the last poll. Fast forward to this year, 2023, they got one loss, but they're unless something happens next week, they're probably not going to crack the top 5. They would have to beat Washington again, and there's no guarantee that's going to happen because Michael Penix is going. Yeah, Michael Penix is going off right now. Not to mention, he now has a bigger challenge ahead because now he has to go to the Big Ten. So he's about to be in a position where he's going to have to coach in a bigger conference with bigger ad revenue against better teams because you're going to have to see a Harbaugh, you're going to have to see a Day, you're going to see all these things now that you're going to be expected to continue to maintain if he doesn't bail for a job in the SEC.
Hmm.
10-win season, 10-1, expectations are raised, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. Dan Lanning was handed something that was already a machine that he did not build. He's expected to maintain that machine with expectations to be in the conversation year in and year out. Oregon fans won't talk about this because Oregon fans have never had a winning culture. And that's what I continue to stand on and why I don't listen to Oregon fans in any capacity when it comes to them talking football. Y'all can talk to me about cool uniforms. I will give you that. I will gracefully lay my sword down when it comes to talking about that. But if y'all think that a school like Oregon, who has never won national championships at any level in football, can come and talk to me about what it takes to win or what a winning program looks like, once again, I got beachfront property in North Dakota I can sell you. Low price, man. Because there isn't nothing to talk about. That's it. But y'all let these fans come into these spaces and talk to you about, oh, Dan Lanning is. Y'all see watch what happens if Dan Lanning doesn't immediately come out and be moderately successful against a and we're not necessarily done with conference realignment because you still got to watch the state team and one more team in the Pac-12 that has no place to go yet. So they might just gobble them up just to make the what's called the conference a little bit bigger and make a even bigger super conference. Now you got to play all those people on top of Big Ten opponents who are year in year. You got 2 of them right now in the top 4. You got to go to their conference and plant your flag and tell them why you gonna run shit. Dan Lanning, good luck.
You know what? I have to say this. I hate the referees, the ACC referees. I think we got to do something with that. But shout out to the ACC because while the whole world was talking about two super conferences, SEC and Big Ten, you had to move through that cloud of smoke and really realize why, um, like what was really going on. And what was really going on is just TV contracts. That was the only real thing. Like you think about it, you're looking at an Oregon play, you're looking at USC this past year, you're looking at UCLA play. Even Colorado with their little bit of resurgence that they've had. You look at the ACC, Louisville, and how well they've done. Florida State, Miami coming back on, Clemson coming back on, UNC, and I'm like, do y'all really understand? Like the SEC and Big Ten wants you to believe that they're the best football conferences, but I don't know if that's the case from top to bottom. It's really not.
Rich,
The only
in most
issue
conferences,
is
I was gonna say in most conferences,
no.
it's
I was
not the
about.
case. It's usually top heavy. Every conference
It's
really
not.
got like 3 or 4
It's just
teams
top
that's really
heavy,
good. Yeah,
right? So the only difference is the TV revenue. That's it. You just got to get better people in there, a better board of directors in those conferences to actually, stand on business and go back to those to ESPN and ABC and all them boys and say, we represent 14 to 16 teams. You can't give us chump change. The same thing you're gonna give Notre Dame. You're gonna get one school. You're gonna give to our whole conference. No. Uh-uh. If they actually go back and stand on business, we wouldn't need no conference realignment. We wouldn't need it. And so that's why sometimes you got to have patience when you do stuff, because when you have patience, that's when things start to reveal itself, the real issues start to reveal itself. And I think that's kind of that's the trajectory we're on, where we're having patience when it comes to building what we're building, so that way we get the real pieces that we need right. um because I mean, god, you even look at Texas A&M, right? You paid a coach a lot of money. You had championship expectations, even though y'all never won a championship. And 3 years later, now all those 5-star kids, let me tell you, the transfer portal is not faint of heart for nobody, man. You got all these 5-star kids from at Texas A&M who are freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. You got Shamar, our very own, who basically had a I think he had a locker before signing day. Now you got to go find somewhere to go. And yeah, the new coach gonna come in and talk about, man, we family, y'all. We family. Y'all gonna stay here. We family. Yeah, they gonna say that, but they only saying that because they don't want to. They don't want to be fired in the next 2 years. They're not saying that because you're really family. Because once you buy into that crap, they're gonna do you any way they want to do you. Oh well, you ain't practicing right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you say you hurt. You want to take a day off. Well, you ain't playing no more. They gonna do you like that. They didn't recruit you. You're not their recruit. The whole 9 yards. So now you got a bunch of kids who got to go deal with that stuff. So I digress. And the whole point of my rant is, um, time time always reveals what the real move should be. And I do want to address too. I did see some people in the comment section talking about, should Cam, James, and LT come back, in particular those three guys. So I think we talk about this all the time with those three. So I'll let y'all address that.
shout the street, man. He in the whip, but he ain't got no headphones, so we about to hear all that echo. But
That
um,
panoramic sunroof.
but but nah. I I think this in theory, it's all moot point. I'm not going to sit here and act like some of the things that has happened here is acceptable. Some of the coaching mistakes are should not be happening. But I've said it before, man. These people are learning. A lot of them are learning on the job. They're trying to figure it out as they go. But I do think some of that is calculated too. I'll be completely honest with you. I think some of that stuff is not. as they go. I think some of that stuff is done on purpose because there is time for Mario to build this thing the way he wants to. It's time. They not someone. I start some comments in here. Marine E actually fired from Miami fired Mario. Can't make this stuff up, man. Like you heard X say it, I'm saying it. Well, we all can collectively sit here and say it. He ain't going nowhere no time soon. So if your idea or thought process is that we're gonna get rid of Mario, then now I will say this: the conversation will be had if there's another 8-5 season next year, right? Like there could be some conversation. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, but there'll be some talks. But Mar got time to get this thing right.
I just heard what you just did. How I sound? I sound fine. I sound good.
Yeah, you good.
You
You good.
sound good.
Yeah, I just heard what you just did, and that's good. Good job, bro. I mean, that's kind of putting some perspective and doing some research and actually like looking into certain things, um, and giving a larger perspective because you know these emotions are from game. Medi, you was on the sideline with us yesterday. You heard the crowd cheering for TVD. The dude behind me on the sideline was yelling at all the players when they came in the end zone before the game started, saying, "Tell TVD we wearing orange today."
Mm-hmm.
And then he came out there on fire, and I went back to the dude, and he just looked at me like, I mean, it's just fan stuff, man. But my question is this, dog, because my question is this to y'all, Medi, and everybody else, because I asked y'all, like, would y'all want to be under 500 like Florida State was for 3, 4, 5 years? The stats and stuff are starting to come out. People putting out, I saw the first 2 seasons, Mario Cristobal, and they put up Mark Rick stats, Manny Diaz, Al Golden, Randy Shannon. Like all of them, basically, all of them started better than Mario Cristobal. Their first 2 years, they were a lot better. And these are those stats that are kind of, you got to go more detailed to understand it, right? Mario Cristobal is probably sitting in a more comfortable place than those guys were. You know what I'm saying? He's been handed the program, handed the keys. Radakovich done went, I don't know, on vacation for the next 4 years. But how long? Okay, so we 6 and 5?
6-5.
Y'all are willing to be 7-4 or 7-5 or what next year? 7-6 or whatever next year? Because Mario trying to slowly get it together. Like, are you willing to be? Are you willing to? We winning 8 games in 2026.
Winning 8 games in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's impossible.
Oh well, we hope so.
I don't think there's any way we only win eight games in 2026.
The only reason is because I see the neglect for winning. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 or 7 didn't have to happen. This didn't have to happen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I understand you're slowly getting it right. You also don't want to be the school that get into the college football playoffs, right? Like Louisville was talking to me after the game yesterday, how they have a chance to make it into the college football playoffs if they beat Florida State. Now all of a sudden, there's a chance that they beat Florida State. You know what I'm saying?
And then they get their head beat in.
Right.
And do you want it fast or do you want it right?
But actually, in the comment section now, would you guys take that? Like, would you want to jump in there and it's you versus Georgia round 1?
Now check this out.
Because you got
Ohio State does this every year.
Huh?
Ohio State and all those Big Ten teams do this every year. They go to the college football playoffs and they lay a goose egg.
Last year they put up a fight, though, boy. That was a good ass game.
Yeah.
Ohio State versus Georgia, right?
Yeah, CJ Stroud was stupid.
Yeah, they put up a fight.
They came to a field goal, didn't it? They lost by a field, something like that.
Yeah, Ohio State's supposed to make a field goal to win the game. But I understand what you're saying, Rich. Like Michigan has went there and laid egg numerous times, got their head bashed in. Do you guys want to be that? You know what I'm saying? Or do you want to get there when you're ready? All I'm saying is this. What you're saying is some of the stuff you said is true. Most of it is true, Medi. The Willie Taggart handed him a bad team. I don't know. Willie Taggart was there long enough. I think he was at Oregon for a morning or some shit, or afternoon or something.
That was a springboard job. It's a springboard job.
Right.
Right.
As Miami fans, we know what that looks like because that's what it was for a lot of, and it was for us. It was to them to get to the league.
Yeah.
People came here to this school made Jimmy Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess it's all going to boil down to what's more important: him slowly building it or money coming back into the program. Because I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. That's how. That's how a Jimbo gets fired and walk away with 77 because they like, nah, man, we we could cash in next year if we get the right guy. And I think that's what it comes down to. How loyal they will be to Cristobal because I could see him, yeah, dog. Like after watching this year, like no matter what's on paper, you know what I'm saying? It seems like there's just going to be games dropped,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
that's what it seems. That's what it seems like. So yeah, dog. Like
And
it's like, what's the expectation? Like how long do you guys want to be mediocre as the depth build as things get better? Because you see the young guys on the field. I mean, Damari Brown out there. I've got all these young guys out there, and those are going to be the leaders of the program. You feel me?
yeah,
So
in Street, you
uh,
interviewed Gaddis.
uh-huh.
You interviewed Gaddis one time, and he mentioned after Michigan went to the playoffs, he said we got to the playoffs, and it was like we had guys, they had guys. It was like at some point somebody gonna have to throw in the white towel because we over here getting our head bashed in.
Hmm.
So it's all in what you want to look like when you get there. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
but
KB, why you didn't say nothing, KB?
Listen, the fans seem to be. He seemed to rally the fans with that one. They seem to like, yeah, I don't want to bust nobody bubble. Let y'all rock. We'll just see what happens.
I think what he said. I think there's some truth to what he said. I think what he broke down, there's some truth to it. It could be true. Or Mario could not get better at the things he's not good at and crash and burn.
yeah, no, I do have to say this is real. This is just real. What are we gonna lose by building it this way? Are we gonna lose a Jeremiah every year? Maybe.
I don't know.
But at the same time, 2 years from now, when we go 10-1 and we enter the college football playoff, and Jeremiah's on the other side, and we beat their team's head in, a guy like Jeremiah might hit the portal and come back. I'm just being realistic about the scenario.
Man, I got the
But
dap
up
up.
front, are we going to lose them? Yes. Just like we lost Shamar up front, right? Because we didn't have a D coordinator,
Right.
right? But now Shamar ain't got no coach, so we lost him up front. But on the back end, some of that stuff might come back to surface because we're building the program brick by brick as opposed to flash in the pan.
For those who are wondering why Texas A&M is up, because I think it's a pretty comparable stat line. You know, he got there a little bit sooner, but we just obviously saw him get removed as a head coach. Um, if you look, 7-6 year one, 9-4 year two, 8-5 year three, 9-1 during the COVID year, and people thought at that point Jimbo had arrived. Right? People was like, "Oh, we finally getting this team where we need to be. We're trending up. Things might be working." Then goes 8-4. They gave him benefit of the doubt. And mind you, he's still getting top 10 classes, top 5 classes, top 3 classes. Go 5-7 last year and 7-4 this year, which I didn't see coming. But um, once again, that's that is ample. enough time for him to kind of get what he needed. And I'm not saying Jimbo's a coach who lost his way. I'm saying that he possibly was in a position to never be successful in the first place. And he got all the resources, all the recruits, everything that he wanted. But you give him a sample size in a conference like the SEC, and he can never get over the mountain. He might have maybe one win against Alabama, one win against LSU. That are quote unquote signature wins, and everything is there. Everything's for the taking. I don't know if another coach will come in there and do something better, but it's not for lack of resources. We talked about in the group, you know what I'm saying? I was like, resources come first. That got to be in place to help the team get better. We just got that two Decembers ago. Like, we just got that. This is an example of a school who's had that for years now, before they got in the SEC. The SEC was just a springboard to emphasize more because they got that TV deal money. And
So I think college football, and I don't know if 10 years from now somebody will do some research on it. But bro, college football is changing in real time, and the kids are changing in real time. You're adding money to a lot of kids that was once broke, and I'm sure these programs that are paying for these kids are catching the other side of it, right? And it's like, oh, so how do we deal? Like, how do we deal with
Right.
Shamar having $20,000 every month for the first time in his life? We didn't think about that. Oh, and then you got the Louisville sitting there because you saw it firsthand, Maddie. They're not bigger than us. They're not faster than us. They're not none of that than us. You know what I'm saying?
no,
The Louisvilles are sitting there trying to figure out NIL, right? The same teams and the same coaches and the same continuity, right? And they playing football. Now, I don't know if I'm making excuses, but all I know is what you just explained doesn't make sense. But I know there's a new variable in college football, brother, because these kids are on Instagram looking like they are the fucking pros. And I know how much money they have. And at real time, whoever figures it out, whether it's more staff, whether it's whoever figures it out, is going to be the team that advances to go forward. Jacoby George, them acting like that, and Richard, them, I understand is fire, but bro, I played team sports before, bro. That's something else, dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's discipline. Oh fuck, what y'all talking about? That's discipline, dog. That is. And we know Mario, well, he appeared to be a disciplinarian. You know what I'm saying? But that's discipline, dog. And then that goes to the locker room and the expectation of your guys. Will he make an example out of somebody? Maybe. But that frustration and that. Cal, I saw what you wrote yesterday. In the middle of that, you was pissed at George. You weren't pissed at. You was mad.
He said
at
it
George.
today.
Yeah, I saw it because it's like, man, he's still crying about a goddamn. But that's discipline, though.
Yeah,
you know? That's discipline. That's people being held accountable. Me and Cal, it's funny how me and Cal was just talking about them not fighting back, and then all of a sudden they turned into goddamn the Goon Squad. Like, all of a sudden they not taking shit from nobody. James out there playing footsies with people, snatching their towels, all type of weird shit going on out there.
I think that accountability you talk about, you talking about frustration and letting things out. I'm gonna go back to this. You never single-handedly, you never once held your quarterback accountable until you just kind of had no choice. So it's kind of like, how far does accountability go into that locker room? So you see all this frustration and things boil over. That wasn't about that play or about that season, especially for him to be going on and on about Florida State. Florida State held you way worse than that, many times than that. You weren't upset. You know what I'm saying? But now you still going on about like who you talking to? Ain't no refs on the sideline. You yelling at you going back and forth with KB, whoever the other coach was or whatever. Keep showing that you was being okay. And the shit is over with. So, but I know that frustration wasn't about that play, dog. It was just, it's a season long frustration. And I personally just feel, I know Mario's a disciplinarian, but I personally feel like if you don't hold this guy accountable, how you gonna hold anybody else accountable? And people notice that stuff. So that man, he just let it loose.
You're absolutely right, Kyle. Once again, what I'm saying as far as patience, yes, it does take time. I distinctly remember that clip of Mario going off on the running back for celebrating at Ohio State in a game that they won. And that went viral and a lot of people wanted that. But yeah, at this time, like it does get to a point where, yeah. Now, by no means am I letting the refs off the hook because I'm finna drag their ass in a little bit. Don't even worry about that. But yeah, at some point you gotta hold everybody accountable at the same way. And it's pretty obvious that if you got a guy trotting out there, and I've seen a lot of fans, a lot of the villains, they talk about that in the group me where, Tyler has the it's a luxury, if I'm being honest, to go out there and screw up and not get that same level of accountability as he gets when you see, James pulling a dude's towel or Bane doing it or, Jacoby reacting. There's that level of accountability. I agree. But man, I ain't gonna hold you. There's just some things that are going on in this conference with these referees that got me. I've been saying it for years. I've been saying it. It makes me. It's such a conundrum to be in because I can't tell like what else you're supposed to do at this point, right? Like if I'm a player, if I'm Jacoby George, and I'm watching other players from multiple teams get away with doing stuff week in and week out with the same ACC refs. They just basically switch places. You know what I'm saying? But we seem to be getting all the penalties. We seem getting the back half of everything, and nobody else is. Like, at what point are we? At what point are we supposed to actually sit back and kind of take everything for what it is, which is just being unjust, which is not being accountable from a referee standpoint. We all play ball in some capacity down here. We know people get heated. We know South Florida kids are gonna turn up if they feel some type of way. The coach is gonna turn up. The parents gonna turn up. At what point are we supposed to, we got things like safety calls that could possibly change the outcomes of games, just not being brought up and not getting talked about, and we're not getting explanations. The refs are kind of seemingly doing whatever they want to, and no one's saying anything. Like, at what point do we get the benefit of the doubt to say, hey, like, there's something unjust going on here? Shout the street. I think he lost it because he's driving. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's on Mario. I'm with it too. It's just that when you let that frustration out, let it out at the appropriate time. If somebody slaps you, then you slap them back. So if I get that second flag, at least we understand what happened. You know what I'm saying? And now the refs can watch it for that next time if it happens again. You have to preemptively do stuff and be ready for it. You can't just, react when you just frustrated. No, when somebody put their hands on you, then you do it. And so now it draws attention. Now the refs can say, okay, they're getting chippy. You know what I'm saying? Also with Mario has to lodge his complaints to the ACC or college. He has to get up there on the podium. Don't just say the ref was wrong and if I get fined, I don't care. No, get out there and blast them. It's a trick. It's a tactic. Phil Jackson used to do it all the time. Pat Riley used to do it all the time. It's a part of coaching. So this is where we go back to talking about what has Mario learned as a coach when we see him doing things or not doing things. Now, I'm not blaming him for not doing those things. I'm just pointing out that those are the things he's going to have to do to get his team some help. He's going to have to draw attention. So now the broadcasters start talking about it. Analysts, after game, pre-game, during game. He has to draw attention to what's going on. He can't just sit there and just, be mad in the press conference and tell his team to do better. No, you have to. Sometimes you got to go out there and lay on the soil for your squad. I've seen coaches do it over the years. I'm not even a fan of Eric Spoelstra, but he learned that from Pat Riley. He'll go out there and take a tech during the game just to draw some attention to what's going on in the game and with his team.
Yeah.
Mario has to pick it up, and he has to do the same thing. Because it's really bad. It's really bad. But it's going to be up to him to, you know, to stir that pot and to do that fight. So
I don't know, man. I don't have an answer for it anymore. I just I'm just looking at a situation where I see a bunch of unjust stuff happening. I'm talking about like game altering type things, like, and there's no accountability being held by them. And yeah, I do agree Mario doesn't need to get vocal. Not saying that he doesn't, but what if I'm a player on that team and I see him yelling and getting riled up with the referees, and then the referee doesn't necessarily change anything. Like I'm on Twitter watching plays of like people slap James in front of the referee and nothing's happening. But as soon as he celebrates, as soon as he snatches the towel, as soon as he retaliates, all of a sudden the flags come out. I'm watching them mush Jacoby George in the face, and it ain't until Brashard reacts. And it's like, at what point, like, and and it's in front of the referee standing right there on the sideline with the coaches. Like, it's not like it's a secret. He's standing right there, and it's like, oh, when it's happening to us, Stevie Wonder. When it's happening to them,
yep. It's a Mario and Radakovic issue. They can send tapes and stuff to the league. So it's gonna be up to them, because otherwise we just gonna be up against it anyway. So
that's
and
why I want
it's man,
that's how it feels sometimes, dog. Like,
yeah.
outside of everything, like at the end of the day, man, it feels like on top of that, trying to be a rebuild, you know what I'm saying? Like, but let's get off of that, man. I'm gonna for the sake of time, because we've been here for almost an hour and a half. Damari Brown. I want to highlight him real quick. And we'll talk about Fletcher next. I saw a lot yesterday, man, and I said this multiple times to Street and Antoine. Damari Brown finna be a star here. Damari Brown got intangibles that his brother don't have. I didn't really watch his dad, so I can't really speak on that. But he's physical. He'll come up and hit. And he don't get beat deep. He does his when it comes to technique, I watch him play as a corner myself. I watch him play. Don't get inside leverage. Don't get beat inside. If you get beat deep, use the sideline as a secondary defender. He does all those things. He made some crucial tackles. He made a good play on a deep shot to one of their receivers yesterday. And in 2 weeks now, pretty much getting, I would call, starter reps. I think he's kind of solidified himself as possibly the guy that's going to be one of the boundary corners as soon as next season. I would say he probably lock a spot up by the bowl game. What's your thoughts on that, Rich? I mean, not Rich, KB. We'll get to Rich in a second.
It's gonna be competition for that. It's gonna be competition for that. I'm talking about for the end of this year, not next year. There's gonna be competition there, because if Porter's healthy and he comes back, he's got one side, and I think they like Davis or what have you. So I think he's gonna probably slide in, and maybe one of those guys going to the nickel or whatever. But the future looks good with him. It looks really good with Brown. So I'm happy for that, and I think that's Gidry's defense is missing two things. Two elite corners, even though Porter's playing elite, two elite corners and a fat boy up front. So I think the defense got another level to get to. I think Damari Brown is going to help them get there.
I would argue that I think DP's done for the year, if I'm being honest with you. I think DP is gonna. I'm not saying it's not a don't go. Oh, Medi said no. I think DP's done just because I think DP's getting ready to to grade and test out for the combine and the draft. And I think his focus now is training up, and I don't think we see him in the bowl game. Um, I think Sterling Williams' just couch is done after this season. He'll probably play the bowl game, and then that's it. He's out of eligibility. He's been in college like 5 years, and I think he's played every year. Um, I think DP has he's gonna get a grade. I ain't gonna say his first round. I ain't gonna say his first 3 rounds, but he's gonna get a grade. And I don't know. Now if he comes back, hey, shout out to him. But DP is doing his thing, and I think DP is gonna get an opportunity to possibly play at the next level. He's played 2 D1s, has a lot of the tools. We watched him basically lock up a whole side. Um, Counter to that, you can tell that you can tell Louisville figured it out because man, for everything they tried with Damari, they tried it on Richard, and Richard left a lot to be desired. Um, he needs some work. It wasn't terrible, but he did because he can tackle. He didn't miss too many tackles, but as far as coverage, yeah, he ain't
I
got
think
it.
they had to cover too long. He covered well against Florida State, but this game we couldn't get no pass rush going. So I think he had to cover too long. So that might have been more of his problem. That and the safeties being out of place. Because he was good against Florida State. But yeah, yesterday you did see him, you know, a
That's a
couple of
good
things
point.
happen with him or whatever.
With that coverage, I think yeah. Once again, I don't know what happened. Gidry's pat LT was missed. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Mm-hmm.
LT was
Badly.
severely missed, and he was dressed. I don't know if he was fully dressed. He had everything on, the whole nine. Even after the half, I'm pretty sure he was still dressed. Um, Shout out to Jake Lichtenstein, man. I don't know why, but he changed his number mid game. Like he came out with 55, and at the half he had 80. After the half, he had 85 on. I don't know what that was about. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but between him and Branson, you can tell he's the LT is the pin to Branson Dean's pull, and if LT's not there, Branson Dean can't do it alone. And there's nobody else on that roster that is eligible right now. Cause I think Jamil Burrows is going to be like that for us. But there's nobody on that roster that can get a push. And Plummer, with the blitzing, like Plummer just still got too much time. That offensive line was picking up tremendously, and there was nobody to double team, so everybody played the assignment on that line. And yeah, it can't, it don't happen with LT. For all the people who give LT crap, because y'all ain't gonna show y'all hands or show y'all faces or raise y'all hands. For all the people who gave LT crap, it was very clear yesterday how much he was needed in that game.
He not
Uh,
coming back. LT
LT,
LT should go to the draft. I mean,
yeah,
he's like the
I think
fifth or
yesterday was a
sixth
master
D
class.
tackle. Yeah,
Jamil Burrows, Eddie, that's who you talking about. That dude's day one start as soon as spring starts, in my opinion. Barring him not getting in trouble or arguing with no coaches. Um, he was absolutely missed yesterday.
James and I don't know if you mentioned this, but James and Cam is a foregone conclusion. They should definitely leave. Cam is the number one safety on the board according to a lot of different pundits, and James had 9 tackles. He led our team in tackles yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how a guy who has his size, his ranginess, and then tackles the way he does, they're gonna find a way to use him. And I think some of us got to remember too with some of these guys that it's not necessarily about how elite they could become here at Miami. They call it draft stock for a reason, right? Your stock could go up or down at any time. It could go up or down because of the market. For instance, if we were in a bad quarterback class, TVD would be like, "I'm going to the league," but because we're not, and you don't know who's coming back, and you don't know who's going, you might think twice. I mean, what if all the good quarterbacks this year that are underclassmen decide to come out, are you going to come out too? No, because your stock is going to go down. So I wouldn't. It's not just about us seeing guys look great in a Hurricane uniform or become Sean Taylor or anything like that. It's about, because they do it to us all the time. Guys like who are still in the league. What's his name? Red Wine and the other safety. Those two guys.
Jaquan Johnson.
Jaquan. They're still in the league. So could they have moved up if it was a different draft class? If it was a different year? Yeah. Because they're still there. So nah, if you're able to get your money, go get your money.
Yep.
But yeah, with that being said, defensive line, what's your thoughts on Bain, man? Because I feel like, and I really don't want to talk about these referees again, man, but the some timiness of it all is what frustrates me. And I feel like, everything that Mario got to send up. I looked up the stats, by the way. Francisco and Bain are both tied for the league in team sacks. They're both at 6.5, which is crazy because I could have sworn I read somewhere he had 8, but what's your thoughts on Bain's performance yesterday? Because I feel like he always gets hold, but maybe I'm missing something. And are we all on the same sentiment that Bain is getting held out of his potential, where he's supposed to be?
I mean, they all are. That our line gets held a lot. We've seen it, but I think Don said it best. Bain missed LT. He missed LT, and he's missing just another. You can't do it by yourself, especially as a freshman. So maybe if Nazalik was there, Mezzador, you probably get a more effective Bain. But I saw plays where dude just taking the tackle 1-on-1 and just pushing them around. I'm like, what the, I'm like, Bain is 30, man. I don't care what nobody said. That boy 30 years old.
Tell you, dog,
but it's just tough. You the man out there by yourself, man. It don't. Our whole defense missed LT, man, and it showed in everybody's play. Even though Kiko played well, it just the defense broke down without LT, and we don't have a replacement for LT, so we got to find one. So I think it was just that simple. When you're talking about Bain, he played well, but nothing really showed up and showed it because it's too easy to key on him without LT in the middle. So.
And when you see a guy like him, when you see those blitzes that Guidry is dialing up, just not getting there, it's pretty obvious that's more than likely why. It's because the pass rush is not setting the tone. So those blitzes are getting a little bit earlier because where those guys would usually run free or get that, that delay would fill that void that LT would be filling up on a double team. When it's not there, well, that's what happens. But I hope LT gets healthy, man. I'll be honest with you. With nothing to really play for except maybe a better bowl game, which they all gonna be shit tier 3 bowls anyway. I don't really see a situation where LT plays personally. That's just me. So wait a second. You said yellow 265 said a safety just decommitted from FSU. You may tell me undefeated FSU got decommits, but Miami got barely over 500 record, and never mind. Anywho, I'm gonna knock on wood on that one. But it was pretty clear that he was missed yesterday. It is what it is, but let's get out of here on this. We'll take another 20 minutes on this. Transfer portals. Put in the comments, and I want to hear y'all take. Who do y'all feel like is probably hopping in this transfer portal on December 4th when it opens? And that's the crazy part too, because if it opens and you hop in it, you can't play the bowl game.
Mm.
Once you declare, like you in there, like there's no you have a conversation with your coaches, you tell them your intentions, you hop in there, there's no hopping back out. That means that's somebody you don't have, somebody you will not have for the bowl game. Keep that in mind because I didn't point this out either. I see some people are saying uh two, and I'm assuming they mean Don Chaney, right? The receiver room and the running back room is what we need it to look like. You got three guys, just like we said last time Kevin Beard was here. He did it again. Three 500-yard receivers on the same team. It happened. I think we got what three 500-yard rushers on the same team. Am I wrong in saying that? I'll look up the stats to make sure I'm not lying.
That's pretty good with a burnt out quarterback, man. That's actually pretty good.
This was called actually trash. Actually trash. I hate ESPN. Why are you showing me?
Yeah,
And
I think those rooms are fine just the way they are. The coaching has been elite in those rooms. There's just other circumstances surrounding those where you couldn't, where you why, is the reason why you didn't get better production, but the production was really really good, especially considering these are the same guys from last year. So, well, a lot of them are anyway.
correct. So
I think we're gonna have some casualties though. I don't know where it's gonna be, but we're going to have casualties. And the reason I say that is because of what we're trying to acquire in order to become the team we're trying to become. And I don't think we are. If I had to get into the minds of the coaches, I think a lot of what players are concerned with, we're not going to be concerned with. Um, so if players are concerned with playing time, if players are concerned with getting to the league, I don't think that's totally the the marching order for the Hurricane staff that we have. I think the marching order is getting the Canes back to where we need to be and looking like it too. So acquiring the personnel, acquiring the talent, and that might lead to certain casualties. So it might be a guy who you think could be a serviceable guy here at Miami who might need to get to the league and they need to have their numbers be a certain type of way and they might have to transfer to get that opportunity to um, pad their stats or however you want to call it so that they can get to the league. But
um,
that's an opinion of mine. So
yeah, you can't make this up, folks. There's a 1 yard difference. Henry Parrish and Mark Fletcher got the same amount of yardage, and we haven't seen Henry Parrish. Henry Parrish had -1 rushing yards yesterday. I want to put that in, like I would put that out there right there. He had -1 rushing yards, and we haven't seen him consistently in like almost 4 games. Henry Parrish
Because he always
got
hurt.
13 less carries and got the same amount of rushing yards. A longer
yep.
season high, or a longer what's called, and I think he's had a better 100-yard game. I think only 3 people have had 100-yard games, and then Don Chaney's the third guy, but he's only back by a yard,
Hmm.
and that's what playing through a 12 interception quarterback. I digress. Receivers, hell, he just needs what 71 yards to be a over 600 to have three over 600-yard receivers. And man, the way Tyler missed that man on some of these throws yesterday, he could have passed that yesterday easily. I watched Kobe Young run a slant, and Manny Navarro said it, so I know I'm not tripping. I watched that man get pressed off the line by Storm Duck, run a slant. It was zone coverage, but it was man. I watched this man run butt naked across the field. If he keeps running and Tyler looks his way and doesn't throw the ball to Restrepo in the middle of the field, he walks into the end zone untouched.
Mm-hmm. How do
Potential
you
is
have a
there
tight end? Your leading tight end has 6 catches. That is ridiculous.
for 51 yards. Isaiah Horton barely plays. He got more production. And we haven't seen Isaiah Horton since what?
He played
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, he
He
got it
played
for 2
yesterday.
He
plays.
had like one catch. How many catches he had yesterday?
Yeah, I think he had
I'm
one.
not.
I saw him on one play and he ran out the huddle. He was way too excited. And that for me as a corner, it's a tell sign that the ball's probably coming your way. But he ended up blocking, and then the next play he caught the pass. Um, what?
But you're right, Matty. What you're alluding to, or from what I hear and what you're saying is, if we had a a leader at field general quarterback, some of these guys, both in the passing game and the rushing game, might have better stats. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Y'all know James Williams, the leader tackler on the team.
Mm, that's not
That's
surprising.
that's that's what I was
People
saying
people
earlier.
overdo it with people overdo it with the James stuff. Like he might miss one tackle in the game, and everybody, hey, we need to get rid of him. He don't wrap up. Like man, come on, bro.
Dog, the man is literally everywhere. The same way y'all hate Cam because he makes a bunch. James is there, but he's everywhere. It's very rare that I see a play break open and James not even not at least not in the area. I've
Yeah,
watched him run people down. Cam too, and sometimes they pop, but they literally truly play the role of safeties. Like they erase those long plays from happening, and I think a lot of people don't give them enough credit. But
We got to improve those sack numbers next year, though. That's we got to improve those sack numbers.
I agree.
yeah, we
to
do.
have that caliber of to have as many people as we do here, and the number one guy title is a linebacker and a true freshman, a linebacker who just got here in the offseason, and a true freshman who was in high school last year. That's insane.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Jafari Harvey been here forever. 1 sack. Cam Kitchens is a safety. Chase Smith got a sack and he barely plays. Leonard Taylor, we already talked about him. He's
Yeah,
done play. The Corey Couch shouldn't have more sacks than Jaden Wayne. Like that shouldn't be happening. Jaden Wayne and Ryan Ragoni got the same amount of sacks, and Bobby Washington, who's a true freshman. Make it make sense.
and I've.
well, yeah,
When was the
Don is
last time we
right, man.
seen Ragoni? When was the last time we saw some of these guys on the field? Not on kickoff, but I'm like in a play.
Mm-hmm. I think they'll improve though. Like Don said, we missing a lot of. We changed our whole defense. We missing starters. Mesidor, Nazalik. Um, yeah, we missing starters, man. It'll change. The more better players you have on the field, the better the other guys will become. You know what I mean? And they'll be able to get more sacks. So we still got to up that number, but I understand why the number is what it is. So when those guys come back healthy next year, hopefully everybody comes back healthy. We just got to replace LT. That's going to be a big problem.
Jamil Burrows is there, man, and JH2 has not been bad. He's been serviceable, but even still, his sack numbers and he's now getting starter snaps, right? He's not a rotational guy because this plan was supposed to be a rotational guy, and you use Messidor as that tweener that you can pop in and out. And hell, Ruben Bain was not supposed to play like this. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the fact that he's held most plays and he's still tied for the team lead with a linebacker in sacks is troublesome, to say the least. But there will definitely be some more departures on December 4th. I don't feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but man, just thank these guys for being here and sticking through it. They didn't have to come here. A lot of them are many people. um, and I think Mario legit for at least the last 2 years have tried to make something work with them, but it's pretty obvious that the caliber of talent that he's accustomed to having that y'all will never talk about. But the caliber of talent like is not littered throughout this roster. And we can clearly see that, right? So now we're in a position where you hit the transfer portal hard, you hit your recruiting hard. Um, as soon as that whistle blows at the end of that fourth quarter, Mario needs to be on the jet on the recruiting trail, uh, getting them in home visits and talking to these kids until they shut it down for early signing day. Because there's gonna be a lot of help. But I think it's huge too because I think he can set a lot of these people on playing time, and I don't think he'll be lying when he says it. So
And it took a couple guys a while um to get in the groove of doing what they do, but one guy I look at KJ Cloyd. He has 40 total tackles. Corey Flagg has 47. Um, you know, and it took him. At first he looked kind of out of sorts, but he's put together a pretty decent season. So, shout out to him.
Yeah, we just it's a lot of things that have to come together. It's hard. I don't like when people bring up Manny players because coaching matters way too much. That defense, that semi elite defense, is littered with Manny's players. He cogs in the machine of Manny's players. I can't. We have to get better coaching. Gidry came in as a better coach, and you saw what happened on the defensive side of the ball alone. We just have to get better at that, and that's the part that I just refuse to leave out. Like we can't keep talenting ourselves to another win, and another win. Coaching level has to elevate, and it has to elevate us. That's the only way we're going to get to where we need to get to. Development is there. The guys are getting so much better, but we just have to get better at coaching, starting at the top, coaching decisions in game, roster decisions, and all that kind of stuff. We just have to get that together. Because of course, if we get more talent, of course we're going to win another game here, and another game there. But ultimately, that's gonna make you Texas A&M. Texas A&M now has standards because they have more talent. They never had standards before, but now they have talent, and the talent has gotten them to where they have standards, but they're not winning anything because the coaching isn't on par. Be it the culture, be it the play calling, the scheme, whatever it is, your coaching has to add up. And I think that's where we are. So going forward, we just have to grow. We have to grow as a unit as we collect this talent. We just have to grow.
that's fair. I will say this though. With that being said, I still think, man, it's a night and day difference because I think some of these guys that are Mario kids have shown up and took spots. And I just showed you a perfect example. Now, um, so Parrish is not a Mario or a Manny kid in my opinion because he can't. He's a transfer. He came from somewhere else, right? We just showed you like how you've seen him be an upperclassman that literally gets no snaps, but you're watching a true freshman and Mark Fletcher show up. Who shout out to Chris Young. He said that Mark Fletcher was a huge bright spot. Second 100-yard game. Florida State eyes got a little bit big, right? But he's a true freshman, so I expect that. He shows up against Louisville, and he is a large chunk of the offense. It basically was him and Xavier Strepo, if we're being honest, right? So do we say that's coaching per se, or is that more talent? But you trying to tell me that Henry Parrish, who's severely undersized, like I've seen Mark in person in and out of pads on multiple occasions now. The man is built different. Someone you can't keep him off the field because his size is something you can't coach. He is clearly the biggest. He's the biggest running back on the roster. I saw him next
He
to Don
is.
Chaney, and I was kind of shocked. Like, wait a second, standing 3 feet
Yeah.
away from him, like literally watching him, and I'm like, hold up. I saw him in person out of pads, and I was like, man, this dude is. I watched him pick up in pass pro yesterday. I watched him pick up on all these other things, all these other aspects, and hence why he's getting more playing time. So,
He looks like a DN.
man, why 305
I
can't wait?
mean, to
Man, I'm not gonna 305 can't wait to the gulag. He in here trolling. Talking about man just sent the
to
text.
to but to tap onto that question, you have to look at yeah, we got a guy like Fletcher, we got a guy like Bain. That's great. We have to keep adding to that, right? But that doesn't make us overlook,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, what the other guys have been able to do now that they have better assistants and better guys coming in. We haven't over recruited Jalen Rivers. He's your starting left tackle, a guy that we had so many questions about, and I thought that I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna work out. That man is solid at that left tackle spot. You have guys like Don Chaney. You talking about the running back room, but Don Chaney's performing like this coming off a bad leg 2 years in a row. Like you said yesterday, it was Restrepo. It was Restrepo out there. You see Jacoby George not able to be guarded. The defense, you got you got Cam, you got James, you got LT, you got who else? My Couch is not all of a sudden Couch can play football again. So it's we have to look at that aspect of coaching when we start looking at these kids. You can't because you're not gonna get all 5 stars. You're not. Especially if you're losing like this, right? Like Mario's a great recruiter and he's gonna do his thing. So we're talking about building in a slow way. You're gonna have to be able to coach guys up. And Mario knows this. Look at the 3 stars he's bringing in. He's looking at guys that okay, we can bring this guy in and we can make something out of him. That's coaching. That's development. So we can't leave that part of it out. You know what I mean when it comes to talking about these kids. So I just don't like the whole Manny kid thing. Just come in here, be good at your job, and they'll be good at their job. That's the way I see it personally.
X over here dropping some gems, but we're gonna save that for a later date.
I can't see it. I ain't able to tune into that.
But
But I mean, just as we go, like I say, man, that's why I just certain things I didn't want to touch on. We just have to go, keep seeing it. We keep building, and everybody has to be evaluated the same way we evaluate the rosters. Um, I'm hoping I can get Streeter to ask that question to Mario about how does he evaluate himself or who evaluates him. You know what I mean? Like how does he? Who is his mirror? Who does he go look in the mirror to see? Okay, hey, am I doing this right? Should I be doing this another way? What can I do better? How can I improve? And that's what I worry about. Is like who is his mirror? Does he even have a mirror? So as much as we look over the roster, we have to continue to look over the staff. And that's the thing. As we get better, the staff is going to start to churn and churn and churn, just like Saban. People come and steal from Saban. So we got great assistants right now, great position coaches, and man, I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep these guys. So that Italian talent evaluation and bringing in more talent is going to extend to the coaching room too. We can't do whatever it was we did last year. We got to do whatever it is we did this year. Keep bringing these great guys in. So it all has to match up, all of it. And Alonzo Highsmith is not his mirror. I think everybody needs to drop that. I think we've discussed that before, but no, Alonzo has a job to do, but he's not Mario's boss or anything that you're thinking. Maddie, you on mute, bro.
My fault. Uh, yeah. For those who wondering what the gem that X just dropped, yeah, Miami just offered C.J. Bailey, which I said in our
Yep.
group chat is diabolical. That's criminal. Um, this almost feels like a last ditch effort to get Jeremiah, but the fact
I
that
don't.
we're in late November with a game left in the season and we just now decided to hire this to send an offer out, I wouldn't be surprised if he tells us, yeah, we gotta. Maybe there's some mutual interest. Maybe North Carolina State told him some things that maybe ain't holding up, and maybe that just seems like the best option. I don't know. I don't know what these kids these days, especially with quarterbacks, high school quarterbacks, because it's. But the fact that we offered a 25 kid, a 24 kid before him, who I think we would all be in agreement to CJ's probably better than, or is anybody going to take credit for Sir Jed Anderson?
Nah, I'm gonna say this. I agree with you, Medi. I agree with you on all those points. And sometimes life ain't fair. But I will say this. Thank you, God. I hope if we could JoJo, CJ, and I'm being a fan right now, Medi, so excuse me.
Nah, go ahead, do your thing, dog.
If CJ commits and then we get Jeremiah and JoJo and then we got Chance, I mean, God, and we keep those kids together, I'm for it. I'm all for it, man.
Boy,
I'm all for it.
Mario better have something outrageous in his back pocket,
I know.
cause this
He does.
Hopefully.
he
He
got
does. I
to.
don't know if it's gonna work. He does, but I don't know if it's gonna work. Mario's good at his job when it comes to recruiting. Mario's very good at his job. Miami got something for Jeremiah in the
I ain't gonna
squad.
hold you that. Hey, that
Maybe
Rob
CJ
Mack
is a
tweet,
part of that, man.
that Rob Mack tweet hard as a bitch. I gotta put it up on
I
screen,
know,
dog.
man.
That shit tough. I ain't gonna hold you. That is hard.
Now we standing on business. This is what
I gotta pull this up on. Man, look, coming to you live, man. I gotta pull this up, man, because this is tough. This is very tough. Um, but yeah. With that being said, all that goes out the window because obviously I don't think CJ Billy's gonna show up and be a starter day one, and if he does, I'm gonna have so many questions about Mario and everything that I said to y'all. I don't know. He got to see type of generational talent, but I personally expect us to go very hard for a quarterback, and I expect it to be a competition, man. If Bailey does come here, and it is in fact that's where we're going with it. I expect him to shout out to David, man. That boys, I know that boy's at work. Um, I expect him to show up and compete. Michael Pratt, I think he just broke the Tulane all-time passing record in school history. So I think that's to be, I think that's to be uh, noted. And all he does is win. Granted, it's a little lesser of a competition, but you can't tell someone like Cameron Ward that, who was the D2 Player of the Year, Jerry Rice Player of the Year, and is doing his thing. They might put Deion Season in the casket last Friday night. So
Whew. Where do you go from here if you're Dion? Where do you go? What would you do, Maddie?
it doesn't matter. He already exceeded expectations. It was a 1-win team when he showed up. All he really had to do was win 2 games. Expectations met. Granted, now you got to build off of that, but it's not as if he. It's not like he needed to go in there and win a national championship.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this take this. Let's be honest. Like all he had
But
to do, winning 4 games and beating a TCU fresh off a national championship is more than enough. A ranked
you
TCU
think
at that.
you think if Colorado keep rolling all this money in though from tickets and everything, that at some point, let's say 4 years down the road, they get just like Texas A&M, and they like it's championship or bust now. Do
I
you
don't
think
think I don't
they
think
say
Dion's gonna
something
be
like
there.
that?
I don't think Dion's gonna be there 4 years from now. That's the point. Like, but that's the point. I don't think Dion's gonna be there 4 years from now. His name got caught up in the Texas A&M thing too. I don't know how, but
I saw that. I don't know what's that about.
um, but we'll see. Man, I think there's an opportunity for. I think there's an opportunity for him to build the same way I just sat here defending Mario. I think the same thing for Dion. Like Dion has the opportunity to build that school. Do I think it's gonna last 2 years? No, I think after next season he's gonna do just like Mario did. Get them a good offensive lineman or a bunch of offensive linemen that can block and protect his son. His son's gonna ball out and probably gonna be in a position to be one of the top 3 quarterbacks coming off of 2025's draft board. And then he may stay, but he's probably gonna leave.
Yeah, I'm looking at the season he just had. The quarterback. I don't know why you would stay, because that's not guaranteed every year.
What do you mean?
You may not have the same personnel that you have um next year. I mean, I don't know. And maybe for him, because he's a legacy kid, the money doesn't matter. But after leading all of America like for 4 to 5 weeks in passing and having the gaudy numbers that you have, and I'm not comparing TVD to Shador, but TVD's at 2,400 yards right now, and 2 years ago during his first stint in 6 games, he had 2,600 yards in 6 games, something like that. He's at 2,400 yards, and he missed 2 games if I'm not mistaken. So he's played 9 games, and he has less passing yards than he had 2 years ago.
He only missed one. He only missed one. I mean,
Only
Florida
missed
State,
one.
he just
Okay.
didn't really play till the end, but whatever. I guess why you say he'd stay is I think if he's anything like his father, he just has that kind of confidence that everything is gonna work out in his favor. And I think his dad probably instills that in him. And I think there's probably a plan as a family as to why he would stay. That to me personally, do I think he should stay? No, but I think his situation is just different. Him and his dad, they're connected and they have a plan. And that's what I think. They have a plan and they're gonna carry it out. I don't think he's gonna leave his dad hanging. And I think
So
that's why. It's more everything else as to why he's gonna stay.
so Shador and Deion Sanders to Atlanta Falcons 2025.
I think I see it. I
Me
see it.
too.
I
When
see
you talk
it.
about 4 or 5 year plan, like I said, Dion will not be there. I think is he even getting paid? I'm sure he is by now because they got the residuals back from all that money that they made from the ticket sales. But remember that man signed
A
he didn't
BS
have
deal.
he didn't have any money guaranteed when he showed up. They didn't have it for it. It was like, hey, we're gonna get this, we're gonna use this height, and then we'll get you your money later. They basically were IOU. You want to stay in business with a school
Well,
like
yeah,
that?
but he was
Yeah.
supposed to get. He got a fair contract because he's coming from a HBCU.
Yeah.
Like we ain't gonna just give you money like you make. You know what I'm saying? So now we gotta sit back at the table, or y'all better be paying me something under the table or something.
Yeah.
I saw Shador on a Google commercial the other day.
And Dion. Son, Chromebooks and shit.
Yeah,
Side note,
yeah.
we're not sponsored by Chromebook, so I can talk shit. Those are some of the shittiest laptops in the United States of America. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but if you like your money, don't buy no Chromebook.
Come on, brother. Why you
Mm.
trying to mess up Dion money?
Man, I don't give a damn. Dion ain't paying
What the
me.
hell was that, Maddie? How was we
Hey,
take Maddie off the stage for a minute? Go sit, go in the corner for a second, dog. Go sit your ass in the corner. What the hell was that, dog? What the fuck? What kind of hater spirit just jumped out of him, dog? Like that man just caught the hater Holy Ghost or some shit, dog. You all right back there, man? Wave when you okay, man. When Maddie come back, wave, dog. Like, what was that? listen, man.
Messing up the man money.
There's no I don't know. I mean, Deion doing exactly what I thought was gonna happen, man. Shout out to him, man. He killed it this year. You ask me, but y'all ain't gonna just skip over that Rod tweet like it ain't. I know Rod Mack, dog. Rod Mack is a serious brother, right?
Street, I had the damn Twitter for like 20 minutes. What are you talking about? We didn't skip over anything. It was literally the background.
Yeah, I did skip over it, dog, because y'all ain't
Right.
taking that tweet serious enough, dog. Y'all not taking that serious enough. I mean, I don't. Who's on that picture on that tweet?
It was Chance,
CJ.
it was CJ, it was JoJo, it was Jeremiah, and it was
Is that Mac Jr.?
Mac Jr.
Bullet?
That Mac Jr.
Mac Jr. Yeah.
I don't think y'all
So
took this serious enough.
basically, it's 3 of our commits on this picture with 2 guys that we chasing. That's your breakdown.
Well, yeah, we
3.
chasing CJ and we chasing Jeremiah.
Yeah, 3 commits, 2 chases.
I think we glanced over it because we were just frustrated at the fact that this is now happening, and we offered this nigga been sitting in the back seat the whole season, and it's almost Thanksgiving, and we now just offered him. I think we were more frustrated at that because we know who he is, and we know who he not, and he not Judd Anderson.
Well, I know Rod Mack, and I know Rod Mack. And I know how he moves, and I know he knows exactly what's going on here. He's not guessing. He's not some coach sitting at the park hoping. He's probably dead in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? He's probably dead in the middle of it. There's been rumors that he may one day can become a Kane coach. You know what I'm saying? He's probably dead in the middle of it. For him to tweet that, because y'all are looking at it from Johnny Come Lately standpoint, right? This story will be one of the. We talk about NIL.
Oh,
if
man.
you could get these kids together, if you could get them together in the same place, you talking about an NIL. You talking about Google. You talking about
they gonna be on
NIL. You're talking about a story that could be promoted. You know what Adidas could do with this?
Oh my God.
Before they ever catch a pass. This the story part of it. So I think y'all looking at it like it's a last ditch effort, and it could be the last domino falling. That's what it could be.
Yeah.
It could be okay if XYZ happened, if this happened, XYZ happened. Everybody, let's go.
Man, I'm telling you, what you just mentioned about the NIL opportunities. We are Kane fans, but the whole Footballville is built on the kids, and the kids getting paid like that before they try their hand at the NFL. I'm all for it, man. I'm like, God, man, yes, go get your bag. Because yes, we play because we love the sport, but we run fast enough, we jump high enough, but now we got to stand on business. So I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Adidas and Google and all them boys offering those kids.
The story would be crazy, dog. The story, the imagery of it, them playing together as kids. We're talking about sponsors now. Now we're talking about sponsors and money. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to get away from wins and losses, that's kind of what can sell it. Now, will they actually win on the field? That's another story. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that I know Rod. I mean, I basically grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? And he's not desperate. He ain't begging nobody. Like, he ain't the one that's going to post something and be like, I hope. I hope Jeremiah does this.
Yeah.
With that being said, man, make sure I hit the like button, man, because y'all, I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all ain't getting this nowhere else. The only place you're gonna get this is Nike trying to sell you that LeBron and his son gonna play in 2 seasons if his son gets
Right.
I mean, like,
yeah.
Take this for spitballing. That's all it is, man. But y'all see the shirt, man.
I agree, Smitty. Some people need to hit the like button. I mean, where else you getting this information? Number one, and we spitballing. We just projecting the future. We haven't been wrong on a lot of things. You know, we talked about Brashard and his play. I mean, so many different things. Um, yeah, I'm just thinking
Y'all know
about
what the
it.
funniest? Go ahead, Rich. My bad.
I was just gonna say Don Snaps mentioned new Fab Five, right? I'm gonna leave it there. Go ahead, KB.
Now, I was gonna say what you was just talking about what stuff you're not getting. It's so funny how many people I got hit up on Twitter, I got hit up on text message, and I got hit up in the box in the group chat, and everybody kept saying the same thing, bro. They must be listening to the shows, they must be listening to the
Yeah.
spaces because everything we were saying that we should be doing, they did that shit yesterday.
What are
And
some
I
of the
say,
things?
yeah.
What are some of the things? Because I got those texts too.
Yeah. Some of the things were like the Rashard reverse. We were like, hey, we haven't seen everybody else is doing
I
quote
do that.
unquote trickish plays and things like that. We ain't done none all year. When is yada 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 yada? So boom, we got one. You know what I'm saying? Um, did we run Rashard in the backfield again yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We ran Rashard in the backfield again yesterday. Oh, what is it? We lined up on the center yesterday for the first time after 10 games or whatever the hell it's been. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just so everybody just hitting me like with all this kind of stuff. Man, I couldn't do anything but laugh because it's true. And so I told the villains, remember what Street keep telling y'all. Y'all stop thinking that people is that much smarter than y'all. Y'all know the game. Y'all watch football. Don't think all these coaches just that much smarter than y'all. Because the same things y'all been clamoring for, now they coming out and doing them. That's not a coincidence, man. Come on, bro. Y'all know what y'all see. Well, some of y'all know what y'all seeing and what y'all looking at. So it's okay for us to critique and question coaches. That's all I'm saying to y'all.
I got
Right.
something for you, Street. Let's actually chat that. Not taking that away from you, but I just want to be glass half empty for a second. Let's say everybody in that picture, with the exception of Jeremiah, comes. So we get C.J. Bailey, Younger Chance, JoJo, Zaquan. We got all those guys. Are y'all? Do y'all? Is that a win by Mario? Y'all don't answer yet. I just want the chat to answer real quick. Is that a win by Mario? Stanquan Clark, like all the Miami Gardens Ravens, with the exception of Jeremiah Smith, or is it
Mm.
is the fan base just boom or bust? That shout out to Saran, he says yes. That if Jeremiah don't come, that everything else is a failure. Cause I'm trying to see something. Oh, everybody quiet now. Okay. So I ask y'all.
It's a delay. It's a delay. It's a delay. It's a
It's
delay,
a
man.
delay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it coming in
Mhm.
now.
They don't get
Okay.
it at the same time.
Okay. I
Yeah.
see. I see
It's a
it. I see
delay.
a bunch of yeses. Yes. 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 Okay.
Got one no.
Oh yeah, Jason Temples.
I think Rod's son is going to be a sleeper in this class, though. I watched him line up against one of the top receivers the other day, man to man. Fuck it, they in the nation, and he's he's a solid. He's always been the silent guy on the team, bro, making plays always, even when they were little. I think he's going to be decent for us, bro.
Think so too. The thing that I'm impressed about with Rod Mack as well as Frederic is if you had to define what a 3-star was versus what a 4-star was, and then you see who they go up against and who they've been going up against since they was jits, it's like, oh my god, how can you? I mean, we're not even going to go into that debate, but how could you label them a 3-star, and then you got guys who maybe they're 2 inches taller than Ron Mack, and they're a 4-star, but they're going up against House of the Blind.
Right.
So
Streeter, you
Right.
want to touch that Studio One comment?
Which one? He got a couple of them that I'm trying
The
to.
last one he just about Rashard Smith.
Do we have to? We already talked about this on the stream on multiple occasions.
What he said, Rashad Smith ain't elite yet in that wild. Ain't that wild? What are you trying to say?
Keep reading.
He was saying in the Wildcat, he said in the Wildcat package,
He ran straight
instead
up
of
the
him
middle.
using that elite, yeah, instead of him going
Straight
outside.
elite speed to bust outside. Let me read this again real slow. I went to Norland. Rashad Smith ain't elite yet in the Wildcat, okay? He ran straight up the middle instead of using so-called elite speed. Yeah, I want him to bust it every time he get the ball, right? Fuck it. We'll see if we can hit him make run touchdown every time he get the ball. Everybody else get to get 8 yards though.
No, but explain to him why he went up the middle.
Because that's how he runs. That's how he runs. Like Rashad
Since Wisdom
Smith.
Giants.
Yeah, but since he was a kid, maybe studio you haven't been here. Since he was a kid, he was a running back. And they would hand him the ball, and it'd be one cut up the middle, touchdown. He was never an outside pitch really type of guy. You know what I'm saying? His shoulder square to the line. That's how he runs. Think about the kickoffs. He runs back. He runs straight up the middle of the field. When he gets to dancing and stuff, what happens? Tackle. He's not really a dancer. He's not really a juker. You know what I'm saying? He's like a slasher. So that run against Clemson, go watch it. It was straight up the middle. It was a damn dive or something, wasn't it? Like it was a dive, and it's like the linebackers miss him, and then the safeties are in trouble because they're gonna have to catch him.
Yeah. Well, I want to just to chime in on that. I've seen, I think it was during the Florida State game. Chaney did well bouncing outside. He had a long run. Fletcher comes in, same hole opens up outside, and he goes straight forward and misses the hole.
Yeah.
Now, are you saying that Fletcher is not elite because he missed that hole? Because we don't see.
Young. We're watching a 3-4 year Brashard Smith, right? A kid that has got his confidence. He's been there for a minute. He's understand what's going on. Fletcher's just young, I think. He misses a lot of holes, but you see what he's capable of doing.
Right.
2 years from now, Fletcher's going to be bigger, stronger, and that's just going to look crazy coming down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the stat street. He got the same stats as he got the same stats as Henry Parrish. He averages more yards a carry, and he got 19. I think he had like 13 less carries on the season. He got the same.
I think he's taking a beating too, Rich. This is probably the first time he's been beat like this, boy. This is he gonna have to get used to all of that. They done made him the bell cow. I mean, they done made him the damn workhorse. But
no,
I can see
I'm just mentioning that because
he's not running with that confidence. Brashard has gained a confidence that we wish he had 2 years ago. He's at the point now we just got to feed him the ball. I thought that dude was holding Jacoby.
That's it.
Yeah, you see, he responded right. That last name looked familiar, Street.
Where he hold that? Oh my God, that's it. That's Jarvis
He held him
Brownlee.
3 times.
That's Brownlee
He held
from
him 3
Kansas City
times.
that went to Florida State.
Yeah.
Like he got a Louisville jersey on in that picture.
Yeah, he went to Florida State and transferred to Louisville.
Jacoby responded.
Oh boy, who you? He know who Brownlee is, don't he?
He responded back at the bottom.
Yo, people know who I am. Ask.
Boys out here Twitter beefing, man. See, that's why I'm arguing with. That's why I argue with Florida State fans.
So did he really hold him?
Twice.
Yes, he held him.
Well, we were standing at.
Twice.
He held him twice.
And then he grabbed the front of his jersey.
Running back.
He look on the shake back. On the shake back to the outside, he grabbed the jersey. And when he turned to try to jump, he grabbed the jersey. It's just once he got to the high point, he let the jersey go.
Where the referee at?
Grab. We were sitting on the other side. We standing right there.
Did Jacoby break the wrong way though? Don't Jacoby gotta go get that ball? Like then he break
holding the front of Jersey Street. What is he supposed to do?
Oh, well, maybe that's what I'm looking at then. Maybe that is him holding him.
He holding the front of his jersey.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, well, that's what it is. Yeah.
Jacoby did his ass in.
It's him not being able to break. Yeah, that's what it is.
He did his ass in.
What do you mean? Where did I hold you? Who posted this? Oh, somebody else posted the beast in the bookie.
Yeah.
DB got shook, held twice. Ref right there, no call. I forget. Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's
He was
Jarvis
standing
Brown.
right there. They
Yeah.
almost put a hole through the damn the little thing on the side. That said, I almost punched a hole through that shit. I was so mad.
Jarvis was cold coming out of high school, boy.
I remember when I didn't know who the DB. I didn't know he was at Louisville. And then I just when I left the Rod Mack tweet, I saw that and I saw Jacoby respond. I'm like, why is he talking to Brownlee? And then I looked at the picture and I was like, Brownlee at Louisville since when?
Miami history. Jarvis Brownlee, nephew or cousin of Rick Brownlee, one of the biggest drug dealers ever in Miami, which is basically City Girls. Her
Yep.
uncle is their dad. They all Brownlees. One half of City Girls' family is Brownlees.
Mm-hmm.
The other half is the Hicks, Isaac Hicks, another one of the biggest drug dealers ever. Ross had them both on his 10 top drug dealers in Miami ever. I forget the name of that thing he had maybe 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's a stupid
Both of
ass
them was
shit.
on there. Both of them was on there.
Yeah, the Brownlees in it, but I'm pretty sure they're hardcore Florida State fans. I don't think they rock with Miami at all. There's been a couple Brownies that come out, haven't it? And I don't think any of them ever come to Miami.
Brownlee went viral in high school at a 7-on-7 trial when the boy slapped him. The wide receiver slapped him. And if I remember correctly, the wide receiver slapped him trying to get off the line or something, and he slammed him. He caught the receiver and like slammed him or something like that. And he went viral like a football video. He went viral and shit. He was good coming out of high school, but then he went to the Willie Taggart Seminoles, and it seemed like everybody was mediocre.
Who else you got with Street after the game? We was talking about the car. Who else you got it with after the game?
I saw Gilbert Frierson hit him up. He said ACC championship. It's crazy to see these kids choose other schools, bro, and come back winners, dog. But we ain't gonna do that.
You think Gil gets to the league?
Absolutely not.
At what position? Linebacker?
What is he supposed? What is he supposed to play?
That's what he's playing. He's big. He done got huge though. Huge. Did y'all see him?
If he can produce it.
Yeah, he talk.
If he can produce a good pro day.
Yeah.
If he can produce a good pro day with some numbers, because think about it, him at linebacker, he should be able to put up a good 40 time. He's not going to get drafted, but he can get his camp invite. Or he could be a 7th round guy. I doubt it, but he'd get a camp invite with a good pro day, because any linebacker that comes in there and runs like a DB, I'm assuming he's going to be able to run like a DB. Somebody give him an opportunity.
I'll ask you this, Rich, in response. I'll ask you this. Who do you think got more draftability, KJ Cloyd or Gilbert Frierson?
Based on their play on the field, I'm going to say Cloyd.
They both play for the same schools.
To be honest, right? if that's what I'm saying. Gil. Like if we talking about athleticism, Gil all the way. And it looked like Gil is them dudes who know football.
Right.
Gil knows football like that. You feel me? Like you could put him in any defense and he's gonna somehow figure out a way to contribute to the team, even if he don't know the plays yet. I don't think that's the case with. I don't think Cloyd is as athletic as a Gil or as football smart as a Gil.
All right, so I vehemently disagree with all that, and I'll explain why. You said earlier in the stream that it's like stock, right? It's drafting potential, not necessarily on-field talent.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Looked like a prototypical linebacker. We know he's faster than Gil. I don't care what none of y'all say. Them two lining up on a 40, Cloyd is probably smoking Gil. Anybody disagree with that? Feel free.
I don't know.
I might. Why you say that?
So
Cloyd is fast.
Cloyd was a 4-4 guy. We wasn't talking about him being a 4-4, possibly 4-3 guy when he showed up.
And I didn't realize Cloyd is 6'2".
Nah, he's prototypical for
that
sure.
size.
Cloyd is fast, but it's more about football speed, right? You see it out there when he runs, but Gill, you're just talking about a different type of player, more athleticism, honestly. A guy that can move from side to side way better than Cloyd. You know what I'm
Better hit.
saying? A guy that has played, he's played DB and linebacker. So, yeah, I think I disagree with everything that Rich said between the difference between the two guys. Cloyd is fast, but I don't think anybody has been able to maximize that speed and turn Cloyd into like a really good player for a guy that's that fast. He's become serviceable here, and I like him. But like if he like losing Cloyd next year, I'm gonna be like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I expect somebody to take Cloyd's job. So like all that speed kind of doesn't really account for much.
Mm-hmm.
So but Gill's tape is gonna show you I can play linebacker, I can play safety, I've even played cornerback. So I think that's gonna be the big difference between the two. I could do more with Gill than I can with Cloyd.
I think I would say this: Gilbert Friesen is mentally a better football player than Cloyd, in my opinion.
Right.
I think on field mentality and maybe athleticism, playing sideline to sideline, I will give him the leg up. But I'm talking about draftability. I'm talking about what they see.
You're
from testing numbers.
Betty, you're right.
I think he'll go to the combine and blow shit up and earn money and earn draft status.
100%.
Gil gonna have to blow the test out the water, and I don't know if he do. And mind you, I love Gilbert Fries. I hate he at Louisville. I ain't getting my rant about Breonna Taylor. I ain't gonna do that for the sake of keeping it peak for the Sunday. But I'll highlight by saying, fuck Louisville as a city, Kentucky as a state and establishment for acquitting them cops that killed Breonna Taylor.
Facts.
And I stand on that. Feel however you want to feel. But Gil got more mental, but I don't know if coaches always see that, especially draft scouts. They don't see that part. They see, hey, this dude's a linebacker. He's 6'2", he's prototypical size. He runs a 4.3. That's what we talked about. I thought we were gaining when we got Justin Simmons from Clemson this offseason. Arizona just offloaded a bum to us. He's a fast bum that doesn't have any mental capacity in the field, but he tested like a monster. He tested out of this world. He was an alien. And that's what I think the difference is. But they still drafted. He was the first round draft pick, wasn't he? Justin Simmons?
I think so.
Justin Simmons was the first round draft pick for Arizona. He was a top 15 pick, if I'm not tripping.
And that's the thing, though, Matty. Like, and this has been plaguing Miami players for a long time. The league is steadily getting players that know the game of football for cheap, and then they stay around the league for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and you're like, but this dude was drafted in the 7th round, and then they'll get a Simmons, they'll get a Cloyd, and they'll draft them in the 2nd round. They'll make all the money up front and not produce what they're really worth. So yeah, yeah.
Studio One just be saying shit, man. Studio One, who played more snaps? Go look at who played more snaps and got more stats this year between Gill and Cloyd. Gill's on a better team.
So, but
it ain't because of him.
But that's gonna help. That's gonna help Gill too. We often remember the last thing we seen, and we're gonna see Gill finna be in the ACC championship game. That's gonna help Gill out a lot. Like we forget how bad Cloyd was when the season started. So I don't know. I mean, neither one is getting drafted, so I don't really know why we're talking about this, but
you might be right, Mehdi. Mehdi, you might be right. Cloyd's a little bigger. You might be right.
He's prototypical.
I just think what Rich is saying, though. I just think like the kids come from South Florida a lot of times, and they've been battle tested, and they get to the league, and somehow they seem to fit right in. Man, I got a picture of Ivy on the sideline yesterday, looking like a star, fool. Fuck all y'all, man. Damn, dog. Like,
listen, Don. I can guarantee you, KJ Cloyd not getting. I can guarantee you, KJ Cloyd not getting drafted. Yeah, 4.3 is nice, but I can guarantee you he's not getting drafted.
So let me. All right. So he ain't going to the combine. KB, he ain't going to the combine.
He's not getting.
But if he shows up on a pro day and runs a 4.3 40 as a linebacker, Nobody's with the connections Highsmith got in the league. You telling me nobody's going to draft him, even if it's 7th round.
They gonna
We see
draft him.
shittier players get drafted
I
for
don't.
less.
I don't think he's gonna run a 4.3. Now, if he runs a 4.3, but I don't think so.
Even a 4.4, 4.5, maybe not. If he runs a
4.4, yes.
yeah, boy, cut off his cable bill, man. If he runs a 4.4, 4.3, I'm telling you right now, I don't care what you say. Even if he don't stick in the league, KJ Cloyd is getting drafted. I ain't saying he's top 5 rounds, but he will be drafted. Somebody gonna take a shot on him because he has draftability. We sitting there hoping that Gilbert Fryson runs a 4.6, 4.7. We hoping that happens. And he better hope Frank
I
Gore
hope
and
he
somebody
trains with gold feet.
He better hope Frank Gore and somebody here in San Francisco like, hey man, take a shot at my dog, man. Take a shot at my cousin, man. Come on, man. He better hope, because if he don't, somebody said it already in the comments. XFL, man. Might be a coach at Coral Gables or something.
Nah, I feel you. And if that's where his, it's up to if the cards fall where they may with him. And if he got 3 months, to perfect his 40 time, to get it down from a 4.65, probably 4.7 to. If he runs a 4.5, he has.
And what's even crazier, Richard, we didn't talk about on the defense side, but he running a family restaurant. What's even crazier is that we talking about we're not even talking about the linebacker development, which has been massive here. Like, shout out to that dude. He a Seminole at heart. You know what I'm saying? Derek Nicholson, D-Nick, do his motherfucking thing in that room.
He does.
Like, that man made Corey Flagg serviceable. I don't think there's any shot Corey Flagg gets drafted because he don't got the measurables, and I don't think he has the speed. I think he's gonna be a fantastic coach, but there's no shot whatsoever that he gets drafted. I'm sorry. Shout out to him. Let it do what he did here. D-Nick was able to turn what was probably a bad season into a good one, but there's 0% chance that he gets drafted. But KJ Cloyd runs a 4.3 at 6'2" and 225. Yes, he 1,000% beginning playing. He at least be playing preseason in the NFL.
Yep.
His name will pop up on the screen. Will he stick? I can't say that for certain. But he, shout out to Chris Young. He said flag on the practice squad. That's lofty.
Y'all gonna start listening. We be having these draft. We had these draft arguments every year. I told y'all about Rambo. Told y'all about Russo. Told y'all about Ivy. We're gonna keep doing this every single year.
You said Ivy was going to the league?
Yes, I did.
We all said that though.
You and me both.
Jay White.
Everybody was. Yeah, what I was saying about Russo was we was talking about him sitting out that year, and I was like, bro, that was a bad move. I said he needs more tape. Man, he's top 10 pick. He's certified. That ball almost fell out that first round. Like I keep telling you, you gotta think about how some of these guys think, whatever, and then you got to talk about tape. You got to talk about skills. You got to think how the GMs think sometimes. Because everybody, Rambo first round, at least second round. I said, nah, that boy might be 5th round. 5th, you can't even get drafted. Like sometimes it's not about what y'all seeing. Y'all just got to think forward and think about how they thinking. Probably did. I think X said that. X was like, man, Rambo gonna have to run like a 4.4 or something like that. Yeah.
Not even in today's day and age, with all these fucking Ohio State running backs come out this bitch or wide receivers running 4.3s. If you don't look like a Brian Hartline type recruit, you gonna have to run something elite. Hell, what's your homeboy name? That Tyquan Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's doing shit in the league, and he was a 4.2 guy.
Mm-hmm. He ran the fastest ever. I mean,
I'm confused about why y'all still talking about Gill in the chat.
Hey, shout out Tank Dell, man. That boy Tank Dell going crazy today, man.
mean, it. The reason we do this and the reason we talk the way we talk is we don't just look at what somebody's doing at a specific school. We're looking at the whole history of the player, right? Because Cloyd didn't do nothing at Louisville either, and he was there for 3 to 4 years, did nothing. He comes here, of course, with his coach. His coach like, look, I need you to help me install this defense for the rest of the guys to get it. And he comes in on a great situation where he's gonna get playing time.
Man,
So, but
and D-Nick had that dude playing special teams at Louisville.
Yeah, he wasn't doing
He
nothing.
wasn't getting on the field.
Right.
So
So
what
get
y'all
some
think
players
was his?
sometime.
What was his? So what was his? He was their flag. Coach saw potential in him.
He was less than
Possibly.
flag. Oh,
Huh?
Possibly. What you say?
Flag
Guys?
has
He
had a
tried-
better career. Yeah, Flag
I said
has
he was
had a
less than
better
flag.
career. Yeah.
So how we
He's
get
had
him
a
to come
better
here and
college.
start?
He's fast. They brought him over. He's fast. He can run. He's fast and he can run, but he doesn't. He lacks awareness and he doesn't really make plays. But he's fast, so that's gonna get you somewhere. Think about it. Like you're at Louisville at a lesser school, basically, and you can't even get on the field there. So we brought him over here. We found a role for him. He's done well. Like I'm not knocking the man or anything, but production is production.
Because if we just went by the production, we would say that Flag gets drafted over Cloyd. If we just went by
Right.
production. You on mute, Maddie. So
Wait, hold on. Let's see if I can pull this off. Moment of silence. Let the boy cook.
Second down, Goff in the face of pressure, delivers off target, and for the first time in his NFL career, the rookie Tyreek Stevenson has a pick. Second down, Goff in the face of pressure, delivers off target, and for the first time in his NFL career, the rookie Tyreek Stevenson has a pick.
That man is in the league at cornerback, right?
In the face of pressure, delivers off target, and for the time in his NFL
He in the league at
career,
cornerback,
the
right?
rookie Tyreek
We thought he was.
Stevenson has a pick.
We thought he was horrible here. He couldn't guard nobody. Kind of find out, we realized it's just Cam Kitchens roaming the field. That's what we figured out. It's just Cam out there looking. This Cam out there roaming the field, man, looking to make plays.
Speaking of which, I was talking about that earlier. Right, we talking about defense right now. Street, do you think Cam Kitchens is All-American again this year?
Yeah. I saw what you said earlier.
5 interceptions.
Yeah, I think Cam has been graded as the top safety in college football. I've seen it on a couple of lists. What happened yesterday to Cam and James? Whatever they saw on tape, I think that's coaching. Whatever they saw on tape. My question is, I'm sure Guthrie saw it and his team saw it at halftime, and they had to try to adjust to it, right? But I just think they was outsmarting us, bro. You saw them players close up. You saw.
I think it was too. They had a dude. They had a lineman change his number to be an eligible receiver, and then line that dude up. It was basically just death by 1,000 cuts with them fucking tight ends. Like, and James can only cover so many.
You had to really be paying attention. They set up 2 tight ends on the same side. One of them had a lineman number. One of them had a tight end number. The one with the lineman number went out for a pass.
He's a lineman. He's not a tight end. They just changed his number. It got to the point. I was thinking about it earlier. I was thinking about, was they going to do that with Lichtenstein? Because Lichtenstein, we saw that. He changed his number mid-game from 55 to 85. Like, what the fuck did he change his number?
Yeah. So their coaches stay in that practice a little longer than our coaches. and they draw up plays. and they trying to figure out how to fucking win. Just like
Yeah.
look like our coach, like our offensive coaches, like Dawson them stayed after work a little longer this week, and they came with a few different wrinkles.
You can see James
And they
get mad
said-
because you can see
And they
James
said,
get
all
mad
right,
because he's
fuck
like,
the fan base, TVD, you can throw the ball to Restrepo. Fuck what they talk about. Throw it to him. And they put him on the center. And then they just did a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying?
I was saying like James is getting mad, but James can't really be mad at anything because he covering the line. Like you asking Wesley Saint to cover their linebacker, and that's not Wesley Saint's strength. Wesley Saint is
But
a
I think what
downhill.
I think what he was saying was I think James was trying to say that the tackle didn't report eligible, and that's why nobody guarded him. So I think that's why he was running over to the refs. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody said James had to run the 4-7. Those tight ends was dashing his. They wasn't out running him, were they?
They were just they were just running.
They was out running us.
They were just running deep drags, like just running away, like
Yeah.
Like the player we said Kobe missed. That's what it was. It's like we said we manning up on him in his zone, and they're just running, and then the quarterback, because we have no pressure, he just chucking it down. It's pitch and catch at that point. Like it's not like that's the annoying part.
We're off balance.
What was this guy Thrash? What was this wide receiver that's supposed to be? Because they didn't even use him. This wide receiver that's supposed to have been so good. No, they saw something on tape. They saw something on tape, and they attacked it.
They did.
They had 3 or 4 guys
on both sides of the ball. But it was just we were off balance. We were kept off balance, and that's what I mean about a lesser team. Louisville don't have more talent than us this year, last year, the year before that. That's what I mean by a lesser team. But they came out like Streeter said. They put the work in practice. They understood what they were seeing and knew what they was going to attack. So when you look at, not to make excuses for any kind of blown coverages, but we were off balance. Our safeties are looking in the backfield. We're trying to help stop the run, and then they're gashing us with these little short passes and getting the timely first downs that we were afraid to go for on 3rd and 10. They were getting them, but we are so off balance we couldn't really match up, and it was just a big man. Louisville did an outstanding job, man. That's all I can really say, man. You could just tell that shit was just properly coached. They went out there and executed, bro.
I agree.
Who hand they kept saying was hurt?
Thrash. He had a left hand. He said he had extra padding in his glove or some bullshit.
Does extra strip?
But when he stiffed on somebody, to sleep with that same left hand. Was it Cam?
He did.
I think it was Cam.
Yeah.
He planted that boy.
For that 2-point conversion?
That was the tight end, wasn't it? That was the tight end.
He might have been tight end. He might have been tight end. I think Jaden Davis. Jaden Davis got planted.
Does does David Restrepo get drafted or stay this year? I'm gonna say this, but
if Bill Belichick,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say this. I'm not doubting Restrepo, so he's gonna find himself. He's gonna find himself on somebody's team, somebody practice squad, right? And he's gonna work himself somewhere into somebody lineup. I said it. And let's just wait. We're gonna sit here and wait 3 years, 4 years, however fucking long it takes. You know what I'm saying? But I've been said I wasn't ever gonna doubt him again. And he almost tied the fucking game yesterday. It's this type of shit he's been doing since he was a kid. So does he get drafted? I don't know. Is he staying? I doubt it, man. He has to be tired of college football by now. You think he get drafted?
If Bill Belichick is in the league. Yeah, he definitely getting drafted. Bill Belichick gonna find a way to get him.
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now. Bill
It's just gonna be late, but he getting drafted.
Like you and Birdman right now, waiting for somebody like him to show up on their team.
Dog, listen,
especially if he starts.
Listen, I don't know if people caught it sideways of our flack that we was giving this year with him getting all the targets and stuff, and I was trying to figure out a way to do it without, because what he is giving to the Hurricane program, bro, is you can't take. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been many that come through here and put it on the line like dog. You saw him in the end zone, like about to cry at the end of that game, bro. On his knees, they had to come pick him up. But he's a football player, bro. And that's what sometimes we forget. This shit ain't about speed sometimes. It ain't about strength sometimes. Sometimes it's about a dude who knows how to play football. And we've seen them numerous times be successful in the league because they know how to play. John Offerdahl, all these guys, you know what I'm saying, that just knows how to play football and puts the work in.
Mm-hmm.
And while your ass is at Tootsie's throwing money, they somewhere looking at your left foot and what it does before the press are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's guys like that, dog, that make it in the league also.
And the only thing that would delay X being on a 53-man roster is health. So if God willing he stays healthy, he has the work ethic to do whatever he wants to do in the league. He will always be a Miami Hurricane, and I hope that means a lot to him, because 20 years from now, when he comes back into the locker room, he's always going to be welcome with open arms, no matter what happens in his professional career, because he's earned that. So that's exactly what you want.
X can't come back, but I'd rather he didn't, because I think there's a lot of young, talented receivers in that room that may do a little bit more than him. Not taking anything away from him. He's a gambler. He's a baller. But I think there's some people in there who kind of give us a little bit more that we got to see develop. Miami has a lot of receivers. Like the city of Miami got a lot of receivers that fit that mold.
Right.
Not taking it away from him, but.
Right. And this is exactly what I'm saying, Mehdi. You're right. On paper, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. On paper, them dudes may be faster than him. If he comes back, what's going to happen is he's going to outwork him, and his ass is going to be in the starting lineup. But that's just how it goes, bro. That's just how he does.
X is an intangible on the field. Yeah, but he's an intangible on the field. He don't just catch balls like, dog. I don't think y'all understand Rashad on these kickoffs. Y'all got to give that. Y'all got to clap that up for X. Y'all don't see them lead blocks on them kickoffs. Y'all don't watch foot. Y'all don't really examine the game. Even there's so many other plays where our running backs are breaking and X is out there key blocking. Same thing with our receivers. So he has a lot of intangibles when he's out there on the field, man. I think y'all just have to watch it. It ain't just the catches, man. So I would love to have him back.
Yesterday, right? He was lead blocking for somebody yesterday on like a sweep or something, and he hit the cornerback.
He missed a couple on some of them screens, though. I ain't gonna hold you. I give credit where it's due, but no, he did, man. A couple of them But there's a lot of dudes on this team, and then you got, if we talking about that Rod Mack tweet, I ain't gonna hold you, dog. Love X. I want to make that outstandingly clear. You know what I'm saying? You trying to chop this up to TikTok or some shit. I love X, but there's just potential in this program that we need to see. And I think he's a guy who can play 7 to 8 years in the league. He's the same shit y'all see when they talk about Will Shipley and Christian McCaffrey. No. And Christian McCaffrey and Braxton Berrios, that's what the hell he can go be, and probably better, right?
No, not McCaffrey. Not McCaffrey. Not McCaffrey. Don't do that. Not McCaffrey. Don't do that.
No. McCaffrey got
Wes Welker?
Herschel Walker or some shit. McCaffrey out there doing his thing, bro.
Yeah. Wes Welker.
He's fast.
Berrios. The kid from Clemson. The other kid.
Yeah, Will Shipley. I think he has an opportunity to go to the league and make some noise, man. Like, I watched him, stand 10 toes down against.
Though. He's not just white.
No, I understand that. I'm saying that little.
I think his value is high on the football field. Like he's not.
No,
just
I agree.
White.
KB just said it. The intangibles, the other things that he does that other people don't see. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna stand out to a draft scout who's doing a fucking job correctly. He's gonna look at that and be like, man, we gotta look at it. But maybe if they can't be X out, should it be on the field? It ain't about being X out because X gonna work. He been in the program for how long? You asking guys like Ray Joseph to show up and beat X out? That's probably not gonna happen, right? just be honest. He could catch all the jugs he wants to. He's just not gonna be. It's just not. X been doing this too long. You know, we saw X be the only scoring option against Alabama when we played them a couple seasons ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just we not. He been forged in the fire. You know what I'm saying? There got to be some
Remember
time.
what Josh Gaddy said about him?
What he said?
Huh? When I talked to him, he said, "Street man, we don't have the talent that y'all think we have." That's what he was saying. He was saying that some of it was overrated. He said, "But X," he said, "I'll take him to Alabama with me." He said, "I don't think he lost a one-on-one in practice yet, and they was in the middle of the season." So he's in practice cooking. So he's in practice cooking motherfuckers. Like, he's in practice sunning people. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, we want to see, but how could you not? It's like, you can't. How could you leave him out when he? You know what I'm saying? When he in practice cooking motherfuckers, dog.
X made catches. I say like this: X made catches. He made a couple of them yesterday that I just saw Brashard make. When Brashard caught that one that he caught and then he reached the ball out for the first down, I've been waiting for Brashard to do that for 3 years. But X been doing that. X been doing that for forever now. You know what I'm saying? We just saw Brashard do that yesterday.
Right.
In game 11, 10, 11. Game 11 of the season.
I don't know how I could tell some of these stories, bro. X family used to call me when he was like 9 years old and be like, "Come see my little nephew, man. Who he play for, bro? Coconut Creek, dog. He be balling, man. I ain't coming to Coconut Creek this morning, man. Next year, so see my little cousin, man. He 10, man. He's a third linebacker." And when I finally went to go see him play, bro, it was just one of those things where he looks undersized. He's little. He's on the field. Strip fumble, or who that was? That's X. It's just he's always been the kid just making plays. You know what I'm saying? And once he got to high school, and they fuck around, put him at quarterback for no reason because they had to, and he started making. And I was like, I'm never doubting this dude again. You crazy?
Isn't X Colombian?
I don't know.
Eddie talking about he Puerto Rican. Yeah.
He's a football player. That's all I know.
Let's put it this way too. In the jungle, you got a whole bunch of different animals, right? You got the elephant, which is one of the biggest animals. The rhino, hippo. They're the biggest animals pound for pound out there. You got the giraffe, that's the tallest. But then you got the lion. Now, what separates the lion from everybody else is the mindset. The lion looks at the elephant and is like, "I'm gonna eat your ass today."
Pause.
That's a good one. That's a good one, though, Rich. You're right. The lion is not the biggest at all.
They look at the, what is it? The buffalo. Is it the buffalo? There's one that they really like to go after. That's like 2,000 pounds or some shit. They look at him and they're like, "Bruh, you gonna be my lunch. I don't care if I gotta jump on your back and you run, 300 yards. You gonna go down eventually." And that's what separates a lion, a dog, right?
Yeah,
from
man.
everybody else.
That Denzel Washington mentality, man. I'm leaving here with something.
Right.
The elephant is a bad one though, because they got to jump that nigga. They don't. Elephants don't run. I mean, lions don't run up on elephants. I had to fix that one for you. If they ain't gonna jump on the feet, if your feet is sick, nah. But you're right. Them big Cape buffaloes and all those type of things. They way bigger than lion, and they can kill a lion. But like you said, a lion will still go about his business. They can kill him, but a lion finna go get that meat. Pause. Again. But
that's what Jeremiah. That's what Jeremiah tweeted. Tweeted right there, Eddie.
Yeah.
OU.
No, he said, "Ooh."
That's saying OU, don't it? I'm confused.
Man,
no, it's saying ooh.
Like ooh.
Really?
Yes, man.
Let me see. Siri, what is OUUUU? It means Ohio State, dumbass. Told y'all. Ooh, that's how you spell.
I might put you in the back street for that one, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's how the kids be. That's how like I've seen it spelled like that. That's not how you spell ooh, but I think that's how they spell it.
Right.
I thought it said OU, Ohio State University. That's what I thought it meant.
Shout out to my dog Martin Dude,
Nah.
man. Live from South Africa, man. He out here dropping the
Cape Buffalo, our biggest killer along the hippo in Africa. Dupe out here dropping knowledge. What he say?
Hmm.
the Cape
Yeah,
Buffalo,
they
There you
don't
man.
they
go.
don't mess with hippos.
Yeah,
They
not
don't
the
mess with
Lions, man. The
hippos. Nobody
Buffaloes out
messes
here.
with hippos.
Hippos like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hippos
they get
kill more people than
aggressive,
lions.
but they don't
Really?
get aggressive. Because if you think
Mm.
about it, the hippo gets aggressive for different reasons. Like they get aggressive for territory. Like if somebody at the watering hole,
Mm-hmm.
the hippo like, man, I'm trying to bathe in with the sun, and they get aggressive for that. They don't get aggressive for and I think they eat. I'm not. I think they eat plants anyway or grass.
Yeah, they're vegetarians, but every now and then they'll eat meat every now and then, but they're vegetarians.
A hippo is a great left tackle. A dude who knows that they can kill everybody over here if they want to, but they don't have that type of heart because they don't have the short man syndrome and all that other stuff, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they know they can. So great left tackle, you know. But the line is just different. They fight for different reasons. You touch somebody in their family, you gonna die.
For now, y'all got me Googling hippo videos. Now, hippos kill people? I can't get hungry hippo
They'll
game out my mouth. They got
they'll
four
kill a
teeth, don't
lion.
they?
They'll kill a lion.
Shit, yeah.
The
You
hippo is not
fuck
afraid of
around and get too close to
nobody.
that water.
Yeah, they're not afraid of
They
nobody.
Nile crocodiles,
Crocodile,
gators, you name it.
name it.
Shit, man, yeah. Ain't nobody messing with hippo.
Yeah, I agree
Like
with
it's stupid.
Chris Young, stupid as shit, dog. Stupid, dog. Exactly.
you.
That's how he got out. That's how he got all them damn kids. Damn
Yep.
kids.
Yeah, look at daddy daycare. The number sit in the daycare and crack jokes. Crack jokes and clean bottles. That's all it is.
Oh shit, man. Shout out to y'all for being here, Rocker. We 3 hours straight, man, on a football Sunday.
I know, man. Y'all, I usually let people go watch the NFL, man. Y'all being disrespectful this morning.
Man, they in here with us. Shit.
Yeah, we go at the chat. Go. Chris knows I'm holding the baby now. Boy, that's stupid.
that boy
Oh,
can
Lord.
that boy can text and feed the baby at the same time. Boy, a pro.
Man. And I saw I'm riding with a tiger over a lion. A tiger's like that elite 5-star, man. I don't
Yeah,
even. You want the tiger and the
that's
lions to be on the
generational.
same team. You know what I'm saying? Because they make ligers. You know what I'm saying? Ligers
It's
are bigger than you know both of them put together.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realize some of those other cats didn't have the attributes. Like when you start watching wildlife and they start breaking down the other cats, the panthers, and like they don't have. Like you think they all are killers, right? And they don't have some of the attributes, you know what I'm saying, of a lion. Like they may be not as fast. You be like, it's not fast. You know what I'm saying? Like but I didn't realize that. I thought they all were just like fierce cats. Some of them can climb trees better than the other ones. You know what I'm saying? But some of them.
I bet you didn't know this
Yeah,
though.
like
The jaguar, if the jaguar was bigger, would pound for pound be the most fearsome cat because they actually have more bite force than any other cat because of where they live. They have they can literally crush a crocodile's skull with their bite force because they eat crocodiles.
it's
They're
not
the
not it's not
only
crocodiles.
cat that can do that.
It's that fake ass crocodile. The caiman, right? It's not crocodiles. It's caimans, right?
Yeah, but it's pretty impressive when you could go in the water, and typically you go in the water, alligator, crocodile is gonna get you. They'll chase go in the water and chase them, and with one bite they can kill them.
Yeah, but that's a caiman. They're not doing that shit with crocodiles and big ass gators. They do that shit with caimans. Those are different. But it's still impressive, like you're saying and shit, that you can bite through that motherfucker like that. Um, I think the
Eleven
biggest,
hundred
baddest
pounds
cat
of
is
bite force.
probably it's impressive. But like you say, because of their size, you don't see them like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think a tiger ain't none of them cats really out there messing with tigers and shit. The only thing about tigers is because they're solitary creatures. So it's like if one run up on a lion, he's running up on about 4, 5, 6 lions. Um, but I don't think they don't live anywhere in the wild like near each other. I don't think.
Nah, they don't. Nah, we're just trying to bring it full
What
circle.
somebody says.
and
It
and
turned
go-
into,
like
it turned into the damn National Geographic.
Hey, that's what we do.
I literally said that.
the Jaguars or Black Panthers like Weapon X, like a Bashard. You give him the ball, he gonna take it to the house. He could be your most deadly player. Not the biggest,
Mm-hmm.
but
You had
he got a
wildlife class
certain
at
skill
Clemson,
set. Huh?
Rich?
He must have.
You had a wildlife class at Clemson and shit. What you majored in?
Nah, bro, Rich in his 30s. When we get 30s, we start watching National Geographic just like our parents used to do. You sit home in the couch,
Yeah,
just like I'm sitting here rocking, and you sit there and you watch National Geographic and just say "oh shit" a lot.
yeah, pretty much.
What?
Man, with that being said, man, I
That's
think it's
it.
time, man. Hey, shout out to Kings Hoop, man. They playing Kansas State in the
Today?
Bahama. Yeah, right now in the Bahama. What is it, the Bahama Classic? What's this shit called? The Bahamar Hoops Bahamas Championship. They in the championship playing Kansas State
Dolphins in the
Wildcats.
dog. The Dolphins in a dog fight with the Raiders. Who the hell made the Raiders good?
My dog, man, Antonio Pierce, man, giant linebacker, man. Stop playing with my dog. First team with a black GM, black head coach.
Was in a dog fight with the Raiders.
He said, "You got to link for the game. I got YouTube TV, dog."
Shout out to the Giants, Mitty.
What?
They winning.
What the hell that mean to me? I need them to lose. We get Michael Penix. I don't give a damn about them winning. I need these
y'all
L's,
talked
baby.
about y'all talked about Travis.
Do we have to?
The ankle. No, we didn't talk about the ankle. Ooh, that
Well,
was
real
tough.
fast, man.
That was
I
tough
just
to
think
watch.
the worst part of football is me spending this whole year saying I ain't never seen anybody work that hard and become that good. And if it ended on that field last night, dog, that's the worst part of football. That's what makes football
Yeah.
fucked up. I don't give a fuck how
Very
much
true.
y'all love it. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes
Mhm.
football fucked up. If it ended right there, now at least he got some NIL money out of it. But he worked really,
Damn.
really hard, dog, to get to where he was. Really, really hard, dog.
Have we seen somebody
What?
come back from one of those?
I don't think
They're
so,
never the
dog.
same.
Remember UCF quarterback tried to come back from one of them bad
Yeah.
hits? The South
What
Carolina
was it? A
running back
knee
never returned
or
to
an
the game
ankle?
again. I think they saying Travis was both last night, right?
Yeah, it was a
Oh, I
compound.
thought it was just the ankle.
Compound.
I ain't say two or both
It
of
was a
them,
knee
dog.
too.
That's what they said. We'll find out.
Oh, if it was just the ankle, I think he can come back. But God, I ain't know it was all that. Damn.
He left in the
Woo.
aircraft.
Against North, who were they playing?
North Alabama.
Alabama, North Alabama.
You out there?
Hmm.
Why you out there scrambling? And y'all see why? Y'all see why I say I saw Jared verse not do nothing versus us. I saw Leonard Taylor kind of disappeared for half a season this year. I saw what my
Hmm.
man name was who I said was doing like this for the whole game on the at defense end for Miami.
Oh, Campbell. Uh,
Campbell, Calais Campbell.
what's his name? Campbell. Taylor Class Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Take us,
and
but,
and,
but
and
now,
that's
man,
why I say like, mm-hmm.
many
Go
want to
ahead.
say fuck Travis. Many want. What is that?
Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Hey man,
Yeah,
I'm just
that
saying I don't see no FSUville saying, man, hey man, I feel bad for Emory. That's just how I stand on business, dog. That's it.
This is me, the person talking, dog. This is
No,
me,
I
Darren.
hear you. I feel you.
Like,
That's why I'm hey, I'm doing just
sometimes
like my dog Kyle, man.
I step
I'm
outside of
doing
my
like Kyle
fandom.
early in the show, dog. I'm doing like
Sometimes
Kyle early in the show. I'm just
I
biting my
step
tongue.
outside of my fandom, dog, and I see a little black kid. You know what I'm saying? That
Absolutely.
probably his way out. That's what I see. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. And like I said, I'm doing just like Kyle. You said it. I didn't say nothing. I just snapped the pointed. You said it. I'm doing just like my dog Kyle early in the show, man. I'm just
Go ahead, take us home, though. I just wanted. I didn't know if y'all touched on that.
nah,
Louisville
hey
beat them.
man.
Oh, that was
At
ugly.
the end of
Who?
ACC championship versus Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville will beat them.
Yes.
no.
Without Travis, I think without Travis they will.
1000%. I don't, man.
Yeah, I
Look,
think without Travis they will.
have we not seen Tate Rodemaker before? We seen Tate Rodemaker, right?
Have
He
we?
was terrible when you saw him last time.
We
When he was not playing the team this bad.
I ain't gonna do that, dog. Look, you're not gonna sit here and try to sell me, shit and tell me it's sugar.
I'll say the if they do what we did against Louisville, where we were close because of our run game, man, they
They
have
got
two
Florida next
really
week.
good running backs.
They got
Oh,
Florida
they
who
got
almost beat
Florida
the
next
number
week.
9. Yeah, they got Florida who almost beat the number 9 team in America. Or last night.
I would say if I were them, I would lose the Florida game almost on purpose. I would just lose that game. I would not play Benson at all. Don't play those two running backs. Save them motherfuckers. Excuse my French. And because that game doesn't really mean anything. It's just pride. And I'll put everything into that ACC championship game because Benson alone, I think, could beat Louisville.
I bet you this. I bet you
Benson
this.
is that dude.
I bet you this. Did Benson even play yesterday?
Nah, he didn't really play
They had
much.
a 5'9" sophomore who was the leading rusher. And I ain't got to pull up the stats to tell you that. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
If Tate Rodemaker is something like that, they better not go in the transfer portal for a quarterback. I'll leave it at that.
I don't think he is. I just think Benson, like, I would rest him. Do not listen. If they sit there and play Benson next weekend, that whole staff needs to be fired. Don't play Benson.
So how does that affect their playoffs if they lose to Florida?
Exactly. There's no playoffs.
All right,
That's the
They
key,
have
let's be
Rich.
real though.
Yeah, the next
Let's
two
be
games are
real though.
important because they have to beat an SEC team for one, and two, they have to win the ACC championship to make the playoff because they don't have any more quality wins.
They don't. But honestly, if they get to the playoffs, the question is going to be who are they going to get stomped in the head by?
That's their fucking problem. That's what they wanted, right? That's what they wanted. The 3 years of being under 500. That's what they wanted, right? They was getting ready to flip on Norvell. Now they got all this money that they was using to get Norvell buyout to buy all these recruits off. This is what they wanted. That's not our problem, Rich. I'm just gonna sit back and laugh. I saw somebody put on Twitter and it's hilarious. Next week, either way. Well, first of all, let's not assume because I said this last week and they didn't do it. But this week, they talk. Heather did just put an article out saying that we watched Washington beat 3 straight ranked teams to include last night. They saying the Jordan Travis injury might be what pushes it over the top where they just dropped to 5.
Honestly, Washington should have been 4 anyway.
I've been saying that.
The only reason they're not 4 is because they play on the West Coast. That's the only reason.
No, the only reason why is because Florida State got a longer winning streak than Washington do. Florida State been winning since last year.
Yeah, Washington beat Oregon. Has Florida
There's no
State played
question about it,
anybody?
Rich. There's no question about it, Rich. Their resume is significantly better. It's not a question at this
So
point.
that's why
I don't
they.
make the ratings. I don't make the ratings. Them writers do, who I feel like don't know what the fuck they talking about. I don't make the ratings. Watch to be 3 straight ranked teams, and they playing in a conference championship against Oregon.
If they beat Oregon again,
The only reason why they're
if
not
they're
putting
not,
them up is because if Oregon beat them, then Oregon had to have a case as a one-loss team with a conference championship to get in the playoff, and the committee don't want to do that much legwork, so they need Florida to take the state to win out.
that's
Because
true.
if they, which is
Mhm.
possible, they can beat Washington. They only lost by what, 3? If they end up beating them in the conference championship, the committee got to do the legwork for that West Coast team that we never watched before, but we are because their conference about to be defunct. That's the only reason why. The only thing that's saving Florida State is they win record. Let them lose in the next 2 weeks. They can kiss that.
And
They can kiss that shit goodbye.
you're right. There's no reason why you would want Washington to beat Oregon again, and there's no reason why you would want them in the playoffs because that conference, that whole conference, is like about to explode. Why the hell would you want Washington to win out? It makes it a lot easier if they don't.
It makes more money if they do it next year. That would help the conference because they'll be in the Big Ten
Right,
by then. But
right.
until then, why would you want to risk Michael Penix possibly having a NFL draft stock solidifying game against a Georgia defense?
Right.
I don't know if they've seen a quarterback like that this year. Maybe last night, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we gotta go. We gotta go. That Chris Young shit, man. We got to go. He is not sticking around here. We gonna get in trouble.
yeah, man. With that being said, man, we appreciate y'all being here, man. Make sure y'all hit the like on the way out, man. Shout out to Rich. Shout out to KB. Shout out Street. Shout out to X, man. We about this thing, man.
All right.